And we are live. Hello.
Yeah. Is
All
my
right.
mic getting picked up? Is it working now?
Uh, you are lighting up, and you're kicked to soon fun things.
Heck yeah. We're thriving.
All right. Welcome. Actually, why is this still showing? Hold on. Oops. I don't want to show our website.
Technical difficulty. It's such a pretty website,
It
though.
is
Oh
a
my
pretty
goodness.
website.
Who
You
made
guys
that
should
website?
check it out.
They should get paid more.
www.aggie-sama.com.
Aggie-SAMA.com. We have a domain.
We do. Go us.
Okay, Tim, what are we here to talk about
All right.
today?
Welcome to our last podcast for the semester. The semester's almost up, and
Wah, wah.
we got finals and stuff, so this will be our last one. We are talking about conventions, everything about conventions, talking about our first convention experience, what it's like, what's like going as a cosplayer, what's like dancing, going as an artist, just, all fun stuff. But yeah, let's introduce ourselves first. I am Tim. You've seen me many times in podcasts before. I am the president for this club for this semester, and I'll, having a good time here. All right, B,
Nice. This is my round of applause for you.
thanks.
Okay.
She's like pointing very pouty, but
I
yes.
am. I'm pouty pointing at you. Yes, that is him.
Go
Okay.
Tim. All right.
My name is B. I am one of the general officers for Aggie-SAMA. I am scheduled to graduate in December, so this will be probably my first and last podcast. Yay. But yeah, I am super excited to be here and talk about my experiences as a con attendee and panelist slash like organizer in general. Just cons and cosplay. That's why I'm here.
We might have you back. We had Chris come by for the first stream, and he graduated like a millennium ago.
Oh,
So
that's true. We should just
we,
do like a revisiting cons when cons open up again. I'll come talk again.
whenever that happens. All right. And we
Yeah, cool.
also, yeah. And we also have Anna, but she's having some personal issues right now, and she will be back shortly.
Hopefully, yes.
But
She was here and now she's gone, but she'll be back.
she'll be back. Look, she's just been happy, just gonna chill between us until
Yeah.
we start.
Her character's just not gonna light up. Our characters are just gonna like have a little party around her.
Anyways, let's start with conventions, right?
Oh yes.
So
Where are we starting on conventions, Tim?
let's just start with how many conventions have you done, B? Why is he so angry?
I know mine is so angry. I'm not trying. I'm not actually angry. My
Why are you so
character is
mad,
just
B?
passionate about speaking
It's
about
an,
conventions. This is my con book, actually. This is my con scrapbook that my character is holding. Oh
it's
my
just,
gosh, how many? I need to count really fast because
well,
I only.
what was the first
Uh,
time you did conventions? How many years ago was that?
so my first convention was in like the summer of 2016, and it was a con,
Oh,
and yeah, it was fun. I went with my mother and my little sister, um, and I think that was like the first and last con I did with my mom. I think it
yeah.
was because I'm not because she's not like an awesome human being. It was just like it turned into much more of like my friends and I just going and
I
doing it.
I feel like
Um,
conventions with your parents and conventions with your friends are two very, very different
it's two different
experiences.
experiences. I will agree. I did one with my mom and one with my dad, and they were both very different experiences in and of themselves. And then everything else was with my like con squad group of friends, and definitely did not hate like either of the ones with my parents. But I think like I appreciated graduating from like I need an adult to reserve a hotel room. I think that's wise because like for a lot of hotels you had to be at least like 20 or 21 or something
Yeah.
to reserve a hotel room, and so me and my friends with our like 16 to 17-year-old selves were like what are we gonna do. Actually, I might have like lied one time when I hotel.
Oh.
maybe
Oh.
maybe if the cops come after me, that's why. 3 years ago I lied on my age or something, but
For
yeah,
the
my first
hotel?
con was yeah, for the hotel to like to reserve it or something. Like I
Don't
think I
they
was like a month or two off.
don't they check your ID for that kind of stuff? Oh, oh,
Hi
oh,
guys.
oh,
I
Anna,
returned.
welcome
I've cleaned
back.
up the dog vomit. It's all good.
Oh my god. I mean, we
He
didn't
was like
specify while you were
standing right
gone.
in. Oh, oh well, that's why. I mean, he was standing right here in front of me, my dog, and then he just started, hurling, and I was like, oh, okay,
You
right
know?
now, all right, shit, okay.
Ooh,
So,
0 to 60 real quick. Is he okay?
uh,
Is he just
yeah,
being
no,
a
he's
dog?
he's fine. Like sometimes this happens when he doesn't get like food right on time. You know, like you wait another hour and then it upsets his stomach because he hasn't had like food in his system, and I don't know.
Poor
So I just fed him
baby.
some pumpkin, so that'll settle his stomach, but he's okay.
Aw, glad
Puppy.
he's
Oh my gosh, that was
doing good.
stressful. Okay, we're all good though.
Welcome back. We were just talking about how many cons we've been to, slash when our first con
Oh,
was.
Hey, Anna, you want
very
to
nice.
introduce yourself?
Also that.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm the PR officer here at Aggie-SAMA, and I don't really know how else to introduce myself, but yeah, I'm having a great time. I love Gone. Yeah.
Is is it
um,
gone? Okay.
yep.
Okay. Anyways,
um, anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story, B. I was trying to find a good time to step in, but there isn't really a
No,
great
dude, you're
time.
good. I hope you were not sitting there for too long because it was like
No,
not that
no.
important. Like I don't want you to be like sitting there for 3 minutes listening to me just like blabber on about it. But
No, it was interesting, but I heard you say Acon. Did I hear that correctly?
Acon,
yep.
Acon was my
What
first
was
con.
what year did you say?
2016,
16.
I
Oh
think.
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was like back before it moved to an actual convention center, and it was just in this
Hmm.
hotel.
Was it the
And I
three
was
hotels that you had to like
The
walk across the
Hilton.
street for?
no, no, no. It was before that. It was the one
Oh, the
hotel.
Sheraton.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was the Sheraton, and they had like the really cool like nebula like cloud thing in like the atrium
Yeah.
of the hotel. It was packed. Like I understand why they moved it to like 3 buildings and then later an entire convention center because it
Hmm.
was just like crazy packed and like it was so fun though. It was like absolutely a blast.
I loved that hotel. Oh my gosh, that was the best. I'm
It
so
was
sad that
so
they moved it to
good.
outdoor stuff though.
I
Honestly, it's such
know.
a pain when you're trying to cosplay and it's
Did
And
you
so
you
hot
can't just like
outside.
back up to the room. Oh my god,
did
I
any,
totally
Hmm.
understand.
did you guys go not last summer, but the summer before that when they had it at the park?
Mm-mm.
Yes,
Did you?
I
I did.
Did you cosplay that convention?
No, oh, I don't think so. I think I just wore regular clothes because I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna go out in this heat like that.
I
But
heard
also, I don't think I prepared anything.
I heard it was awful for cosplayers for the Fairmont Park location they did.
because it was just so hot.
Hmm.
Like, was
Yeah,
there not any shade or
it
anything?
was it was literally at a park. So most of it
Ooh.
was outside, and cosplayers were just
Yep.
dying inside and outside.
Yeah, it was very hard to find like AC. I mean, not hard to find, but it it was just so much walking outside where you could easily get overheated if you had a big costume. So it's just not
Oh
practical for a
no.
convention like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like usually that's also what sucks is like most of the time conventions like peak times are like in the summer or other times when like
Hmm.
most younger people are out of school and like college kids are on break and people could just get more time off. And so especially in Texas, it can be killer. Like even at hotel conventions, like people will do like 30-minute photo shoots outside and then be like drenched in sweat. It's so bad.
Yep.
hmm
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just think people don't realize just how much planning and effort goes into like reserving the space. Just first off, like the amount of places that can hold
Mhm.
that many weebs in a single location is just getting harder and harder as convention grows.
Mhm.
To the point where I think like most of the conventions like Saint Japan and Matsuri, I think like Akon now basically has to have convention centers now because there's literally no building that can hold that many people. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you gotta reserve that stuff like years in advance. And it's because I think like Saint Japan like has a 10-year like reservation for their convention center.
Oh, like a
Otherwise,
10-year contract where they
yeah,
just can just renew it?
yeah.
Interesting. I mean,
Other,
that makes sense.
otherwise they couldn't like reserve it because they used to do that on Labor Day weekend,
Hmm.
which is peak like stuff to do since you have the 3-day holiday.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, those like big holiday. There was another one in the spring that I thought was on like another holiday, not
Uh,
Memorial Day. I don't remember. Oh, back when cons were a thing.
was it
Ah, ah,
conventions? I miss conventions.
me
Anyways,
too.
our first
Okay,
experience. We got a little off topic.
first con. Yeah, mine was Acon. Next.
Mine was also ACON. I think my first ACON was in 2013. I was like going into high school, but
Dang.
I went with my group of friends that had their parents had rented a hotel room and they were staying with their parents, but I just went for the day to hang out with them. And that was really interesting. I think I did like a Last of Us cosplay. That
Cute.
Ellie, that's her name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I think that was it, but it was pretty fun. It was weird in 2013, like walking around a huge convention center, like with a couple other 13-year-old girls, you know? It's like, it's a little bit,
Oh.
little sketch, but my parents were like on my ass, you know? They were like making sure I was with people at all times and stuff. But it
Oh.
was really fun. It was a good first experience, and then I went every year since then to ACON, except for this year, obviously. Wah, wah.
Are you
Aw.
But yeah, I love ACON. That's like my heart and soul.
have you done
But
A-Fest before?
yes, I went like twice, I think. I don't even know what years, but it was it was cool. A little bit smaller, obviously, but still a lot of like good artists, and I just love going for like the artist alley and the dealer's room and stuff like that.
Oh, mood.
Just
Take my
buying
money.
stuff. Yeah, take all of it. What
So
about you, Tim? When's your first con?
mine
Yeah.
mine was 2013, 14. I think
Shoot.
Matsuri was my first convention, and I didn't know a lot of like weeby people to go with, so I went with some online friends by myself and it was like the first time meeting up with them, and it was kind of I was kind of nervous about meeting them, but it was cool,
Oh.
and we like hung out, and we've been
Neat.
friends since. It was cool.
Dude, con friends
Aw.
are just like a different type of friend. Like I can't
Yep.
explain it. It's just like con space in general just kind of transcends like not to the point like it should not get to the point of like crossing like physical boundaries or like anything like crazy like that. But like there's just kind of this like wiggle room of like, oh, we all realize we're nerds here, so we're just gonna get like way closer than you would like with other people. And
Exactly. Like you just
yep.
bond in a different way when you're like obsessing over this nerdy stuff
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
you're
Yeah,
surrounded by other people that are excited about it.
it's a
Exactly.
Or
Like
crazy energy.
everybody is
I don't
there
know.
because they like really love this stuff in
Mhm.
like whatever capacity, if it's like the idol portion or if it's the like anime or the manga or this like one specific series, like everybody there is already a fan of something, and so I think that's why people are already kind of in this like positive headspace, and so they just like want to get to know more people and like get recommendations or
Mhm.
just meet other fans. So I think it's just like a really happy place in general, which is why I loved con so much.
yeah.
Mhm.
It is
Same here.
definitely a very surreal environment because I think especially like back then when like we first started going to conventions, it was still like anime is much more like mainstream popular nowadays, but back then it was not quite as much. You wouldn't ever see people talk about anime in public, but then you go to conventions and
Yeah.
suddenly you're like, these are my people, you know?
Mhm.
All of this repressed energy
Exactly.
exploding out in a multitude of weebdom.
So, Anna, you said you like doing the artist alley and panel stuff.
Yes, for sure.
So what do you go to conventions for? Like, what do you look forward to? Because I know a lot of people have
Shoot.
like they like do all the panels and how they camp out, or they just like
Oh, yeah,
they
that's a
camp
good
out in
question.
exhibitors for all 3 days.
Yeah, I
What do
Like
you
don't
what?
guys
know.
like
I
to do?
kind of did a mix. Like I loved watching the cosplay contest. Like every convention I go to, I love seeing other people's cosplays and taking pictures with other cosplayers, even if I'm not dressed up. Um, and then yeah, obviously, like I think the artist alley is even better than the dealer's room because a lot of stuff in the dealer's room you see at every convention. You're like, oh yeah, same little plushes, like same little posters and stuff. But the
Another
artist
figure.
alley is like where you can see like the work from the people that are in that region, and I think that's like something really special. And I would always try to come out with a few prints. That was like my main goal, or like keychains. I love keychains.
Retweet.
Um, and then I would go to a couple of panels. Like just talking about a lot of cosplay stuff. Um, and I also liked the in-character panels. I went to a couple of Oron ones that were pretty good at ACON. Actually, they were I don't want to like bash them, but they were okay.
Wow.
But I don't know. I do like panels, but I just never really knew what panels to go to that weren't like the
Bad,
ones with
like cringy.
voice actors
Ah,
or
okay,
where
yeah.
cringy, yeah, where you walk in and you're like, oh shoot, these people are, I don't know, not really in character, but it's like,
Dude, I could have a whole segment just on like panels and like my experiences with like panels and what
hear
got
it
me into it.
all.
But I'm gonna let you
That was
finish.
it. No, I'm done. I'm good. That was
I
it.
I would say I typically always tend to only do the industry panels just because it's hard to know like because all the other panels are very just hit or miss. Like either they're fun, just goofy and you just have a good time, or they're just kind of or they don't hit with you. But I don't know, I tend to avoid the industry just because I like to spend a lot of my time in the artists and exhibitors. So
Mhm.
panels are like on the back of my mind. So if I do go to panels, it's usually for industry for like a voice actor or or some industry people that I like to see. Game
Right.
shows are like the one exception because you kind of know that it's just gonna be fun, it's entertaining. But like,
It's hard to like mess up a game show
yeah,
panel, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Unless you pick like the
Oh, I
worst
agree.
games and there's no one there. Like
but then you have like fanfic readings or like let's talk about the lore of this show, and some of them are very I don't know, some of them are kind of hit or miss. What about you, B, as someone who enjoys and breathes panels?
oh my god, I was literally like while y'all were talking about panels, I just realized I have all of these like repressed emotions about just like panels in general, and I didn't realize I had this much like strong feelings about entertainment and content at a con. So we're just gonna go.
All right.
So,
Fire off.
um,
Let's hear it.
essentially, I went to my first ACon. I was never like the casual like con goer. Like it wasn't like my friends dragged me along and I was like not cosplaying and like I just kind of wandered around. Like no, like I like researched it and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna like get the most out of my time and my money. And so like I had like a con binder, and so I would print out the whole itinerary and like me and my friends would highlight the panels we wanted to go to, like whether it was like the guest ones or like other kind of events. And like I cosplayed like every day. Like I think there was maybe like one
Wow.
day total at cons that I just didn't cosplay. um
Jeez.
and no, yeah, like it was crazy. I went like 0 to 60. Actually, no, I started at like 60 and then we went to like 6,000. But
God.
so like I go to ACon, right? And like I'm new to panels and so like I didn't know what was happening. But I went to some like industry panels and some voice actor ones where the voice actors were just messing around and I was like, oh, this is fun. And then I went to like a couple like in character ones and I was like, I like elbowed my friend and I was like, dude, we could do better. And she was like, I know. And so like literally
Wow.
like that was how it started, is I was like, I could do better. And so like I literally just like started applying to
Oh my
conventions and be like,
God.
my friend and I like we wanna like do this thing. And like I looked online and like that's how it started. And I would 100% like recommend to anybody that wants to be a panelist to just like go on YouTube and Google like in character panel or like blah 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 panel, or look up like panel guidelines at conventions because that will really set you apart from other people. And so in particular there was this one cosplay group that they disbanded like 4 or 5 years ago, but they were called like Order of the Rose Cosplay. um and they had this really fantastic in character panel that was like a sleepover game show type thing, which I think is like really helpful in keeping in character ones from being just straight cringe. Because if you have like reason that people are there and you can get the audience involved, then it's not just like, oh, you're not actually my favorite character, bye. Like see ya. Like I think that's super important. And so yeah, like I watch these like cringe panels and my friend and I are like, should can we are we okay, we're gonna do it. And so we applied to IkiCon, and that's why IkiCon is special to me, is because that's when we did our first. We did an Oron High School Host Club
Oh.
sleepover panel. It was so fun. I like freaking loved it. And I have this friend who is gorgeous and does acting and is like a fantastic Tamaki, so I can literally just like stay on the sidelines and then she can just go and like just be like canon Tamaki. And so
Aw.
it's
That's
so fun.
so awesome. Oh my
And
gosh.
so we did that one like 3 or 4 years in a row. And like the second year we had like 100 people outside the door. Like we had to turn like 30 people away. Oh my gosh, it was like a surreal moment. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I'm a celebrity. Just kidding.
You're so
oh,
popular,
you're a
B.
panel celebrity. What
It
the
was
heck?
so fun. Literally just at IckyCon and just like on Friday nights from like 12 a.m. to like 2 a.m. And then everybody forgets who we are. But
Such a fun time too.
oh
Wow.
my gosh, it was so fun. So we did like the sleepover panels, and it's always like New Year's or Christmas. So we would do like some kind of like seasonal thing. And then we did one version where it was like a tropical like beach party version. And so we changed up the games, and we did that at like a summer con. I did like a like Kill a Kill Mako game show panel called Mako Mako Madness. There was one IckyCon where I think we did like 6 or something panels. Like it was god awful. I will never do that again.
Jeez.
But I realized that my con priorities are like I want to run panels, and then I want to go to a couple to figure out like how I can make my panel better. But like I'm really bad at going to panels or like going to conventions where I'm not on a panel, because then I realize I'm just bored. Like I'm like, man, if I'm not
Aw.
like running from place to place, then like I just get like yeah, I'm just like not as fulfilled at the end of the con. Like I need to be like dead tired, sleep deprived, contacts are stuck to my eyes still. Like I just need to be like a corpse on Sunday driving home, and that means I did
Damn.
a good job. But
That's when you have fun. It's when
Wow.
you're okay.
When you're
yeah,
stressing yourself to doing like 6 panels, that's insane.
I will never
It
do that
also
again.
sounds like a blast. I
Oh,
mean,
it was so much fun.
everyone that says like doing a cosplay every day is like so fun, but it's misery. Like, I just don't understand that. I need some time to sit down,
I need
eat
a
some
second.
tacos. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's my favorite part of cons is like everybody can con how they want to. Like you can do
Mhm.
like there's people I know that do like even more than like my friends and I, where they're doing panels like every other hour, and like they
Wow.
have like 3 cosplays a day. Like I think my max is like 2 unless I'm in like the cosplay contest or something. But yeah, like some people go hard, or you can just like show up in your favorite anime t-shirt and talk to a bunch of weebs
Mhm.
in the lobby. Like you don't even have to pay to get into the
Exactly.
convention. Like
Yeah.
I love cons for the extremes and everything in between. But
Yeah, you can be whatever type of weeb you want to be, whatever severity.
severity, how badly do you want to have to like sleep at the end of the con? Like how many hours are you going to sleep
What
after?
is
Like that's how
sleep?
hard you con.
The thing is, I really want to go to a con now that I'm 21. I
Oh, so you're gonna
really
go to
want to just,
the drink and the
yeah,
raves and
I
just
want to
let
Dude,
yourself
go to the
go.
raves and get drunk.
Hannah wants to get
That's my goal.
it's so different. It is like having done cons from the age of like 17 to like 20-ish, 21 at some locations. Don't yeah.
Oh,
Wait, I might have been illegal another time. It's fine. But
That's,
it's
we don't
okay.
talk about that. No,
Yeah,
it's
that
fine.
didn't
never.
It's fine.
I don't.
What? I think I'm just misremembering. I'm old. But
Yeah, old brain.
yeah, no, it's definitely like a different animal, like in the best ways. I think if you find like fun people that you can party with, like there's some guys that people that we had met like 4 hours before, and they were like, "Yo, we're gonna go like to this place," and we'd be like, "Cool, okay, y'all don't seem like psychos. That's fun." And then you can just go like make new friends and party. But oh yeah, like con nightlife is definitely different from like the dayscape, because it's literally just let's go like party with friends and go get drunk and play fun party
Yeah.
games.
After midnight,
But
it's
with the
just
weebs.
And
yeah.
weaves are so like
It's
fearless. Like I have no other
Yup.
word.
they just don't know how to let loose except for now. So they just no restraints on them. After midnight, it's just all drinks, tentacle, hentai, weird
Mhm.
things.
Social
All
anxiety
yeah.
gone.
Yep. It's a,
Now you
Inhibitions
can
left the
dance the
room.
night
it's
away.
a crazy time. But
Weeb dancing. Oh my god, the weeb dances between like the
Yup.
raves and the masquerades. Like that's its own category. Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
have you done a masquerade before? That seems like so much effort.
Oh, you mean like cosplay contests do a masquerade, or like a masquerade ball?
Like those like masquerade balls where you like dress up in like a suit or something and you
I
look
have done
pretty.
one before. That was really fun. I think it was at IckyCon actually. And somebody had taught like a ballroom dance class like in the morning of, and
Oh,
so
that's fun.
a friend and I were like ready to go, so we like had brought dresses with us, but like we learned how to do like a really quick waltz or something, and so like she and I just like went in circles around the dance floor, just like waltzing around people. It was so fun. But
Aw.
for me, it gets kind of repetitive if they don't have any kind of content like there, or else it's just like weeb music but piano, and for like 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
and then you just like mingle with people. But it can be fun if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I've never been to one of those balls, but I've been to a rave, like I think once or
Ooh.
twice, and I dressed as BMO,
Oh,
but like a human
Yes.
version of BMO. So like I
Yes.
just had a blue wig, and then I made like a dress that had like the buttons and stuff.
That's
And
so cute.
did
there
you
was
get
just
the
a bunch
BMO
of people
hat?
with like those light up like
Glow,
yo-yos and those
glow
like
sticks and
sticks. Yeah,
sabers
all the
and
stuff. And they were all dancing, and I was just like, all right, so you just hop in the middle and you just start hopping with everybody, and it was weird, but I didn't really know how to dance to rave music, so I was a little confused.
so
But
imagine like a spasm and then go.
right, right. It's like a lot of just fist bumping and like just
Just
moving your
jump and fist bump if you in doubt. That's all it is.
exactly. But it was all right. I don't know. I think I would have a lot better time if there was like pool or something going on as well. I don't know, some kind of game. I
Pool
feel like
parties
Oh.
are
No,
fun.
I
I
think.
like pool
yeah,
parties at cons.
Okay.
pools and billiards. That's kind of the same vibe, you know?
How about Jenga?
Ah,
Pool and
Jenga.
pool.
I actually did
Jenga.
Jenga once. It was fun. Drunk,
Jenga at a
drunk
rave.
At a
Jenga
rave?
is 10 out of 10. Now,
Jenga at a rave.
I went to like a
Oh
nightclub
my
bar
god.
thing in once, and they had like a little table, and you could like rent out like Jenga for some reason, and it was just hilarious, just watching a bunch of drunk people yank out blocks.
That's cute. I mean, I could totally see like how the entertainment value would go up after you're like drunk or watching drunk people, because like coordination gone, shot. So like 2 bricks in, your Jenga tower's falling over. That would actually be really fun.
Would be fun.
Where were we? Okay, so we're talking about con priorities. Um,
Con-
okay, I wanted to ask, like, what did y'all do any kind of preparation for a con? Like, are y'all like the people that are like, okay, like here's my like yearly like con schedule, like this is what I'm gonna do at it, like I have all these cosplays prepared, or is it like your friend calls you up like 2 days before and is like, hey, I have an extra ticket, and you just go?
the, the latter.
Tim,
It's the
Tim, you want to
latter.
go first?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I don't. I've been wanting to do a cosplay convention before, but I haven't yet, just because like I feel like you bring like 3 bags just for your like cosplay, and you gotta like
This is
be
true.
so delicate,
Oh,
and I don't think I can be that. I don't want to like carry all that around with me. I'm a very minimal person when I'm doing conventions. I just have like a duffel bag and maybe a suitcase for all my merch to take back, and then I'm gone. But
Wow.
dang,
but
Little
can't
kids.
relate.
That's awesome.
one day I'll do a cool cosplay.
You
I've been
I think
should.
it's definitely worth it, like worth the hassle.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you gotta be dedicated, that's for sure.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, dedicated and just ready to put more resources into it than you thought you would originally.
Hmm?
That is
Exactly.
that is cosplay. Dude, you said you brought like 1 bag, maybe like 2, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like thinking back to like the 3 luggage carts my friends and I have
Yup.
taken up to hotel rooms.
See,
Oh my god.
that's the cosplay life that I don't think I'd ever do.
I
But yeah,
don't mind it though, because usually it's just like get like you. The hardest part is just packing everything in a car or like however you're carpooling, because then you usually just get luggage carts and they just like take it upstairs. And so like there's not that much moving unless your checkout is at like everybody's checkout is at 11 a.m. and all the elevators are packed,
Oh
and so you
yeah.
have to walk everything down the stairs and you're on the 7th floor. If you can't tell, I was very salty that con,
Big
but
oof.
Sunday mornings are always a little rough, especially when you like room a lot of people. So I don't
mm-hmm.
know how many like
Oh
I've
no.
you've like roomed like overcapacity in hotel rooms before. Well, I don't know about cosplayers.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
cosplayers I feel like are very spacious because they know they need
Oh,
the
I never
room
have.
to.
I never do.
Yeah, because I
Oh.
feel like you guys need the extra space to prepare your cosplay. But the normal people, to save costs, we try to like shove as many human bodies in the hotel room as possible to cut down the
Oh,
cost. So Sunday morning when everyone's just like scrambling to put all the stuff back together, it's just sheer chaos.
Absolute chaos.
But
I can definitely attest to that. Like the last 2 years that I've gone, I've like coordinated the friend group, and so I was trying to cut costs because I was booking the hotel room and I didn't want this cost to fall on me. So we had like 6 people in our hotel room for 4, and I brought an air mattress and everything. But yeah, I definitely love doing all the organizational stuff before the con too.
Mood.
Like
Yep.
figuring out which panels and like if there's any guests that I want to see and like I mean I used to be super into like planning the cosplay stuff. I had like a binder and shit for
Yeah.
just for
I
cosplay
guess everyone had binders.
ideas.
There it
Jeez.
is. The
But
con binder.
I don't know. I wasn't really I never really got into panels like you did, B. I obsessed over cosplay and I had so many plans and then I did like maybe a quarter of them. Maybe.
Ah.
So it was one of those things where you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then you buy a bunch of wigs and you're like, oh, that's a lot of
Oh.
money. And then you're like,
Oops.
now I have a bunch of wigs that I don't use.
Oh no. See, I never went down like that cosplay route. Mine was always like, because I
Oh
usually buy
no.
the wigs last because like I just love
That's
wig
so
styling.
smart.
No, it's well, okay, because it's not that I don't spend money elsewhere. Like I definitely still have wigs that I like have not styled, and I'm like, ooh, I like used all of the other materials for that cosplay, but I still have a leftover wig. Whoop. Um, but like I'm definitely the person that's like has all these ideas for cos plans, and then like other people
Mhm.
flake out, and then I'm like, well, I still
Oh
got like
no.
4 wigs for this or blah blah blah. But like that's what I was gonna say is like I think my like panel experience would have been way different if I didn't have like several friends that wanted to like get up there and be stupid up there with me. Like it totally is a different experience if you're like a single con goer versus like going with like this repetitive squad, which is like what I ended up doing.
That
I
really
think
changes the game.
Oh,
Hmm.
it totally does. And like it really like paneling is like so different from just like being in the audience, and it does take like I think a good panel requires like a hell of a lot of preparation unless you're just super
Hmm.
experienced and like godly at communicating and entertaining people. And like I think if you don't have a good team behind it, then it's just not as fun like to do panels.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
would not enjoy getting up and doing it by myself. Like my favorite thing is just like laughing at my friends and I like literally just being dumb and realizing that we're in colorful wigs and costumes for like almost no reason. So
Hmm. It really is fun though.
It
oh,
it
It's a
seems like
absolutely.
fun.
blast.
Like when the panels hit, it really hits. Like you could tell that the panels are having a blast and the audience is having a blast. Like I really want to, like I said, I really want to do a panel. Just a little bit, just partially,
It's
just to say I'd done it all. But a lot of it seems like a fun thing to do. I just
I can't go back. I can't go back to not doing panels
I
now.
need
It's too much fun.
I need to find a squad to do it with.
Tim, I'll be your squad. Pick a
Your
show.
squad. Are we doing a sleepover?
Want to?
A slumber party thing?
Let's go. You want
Let's
to do
go.
slumber party
Oh.
with me? We're gonna do Oran High School Host Club. Actually, let's just cosplay the characters that we have right now.
Me as myself.
Tim is Tim.
Me.
All
Anna has to be
right.
extra excited going.
Honestly, I think I'd be a great gun.
I believe in you.
Totally. I'm
I think I
small.
have good experience being a Beatrice, so I think I can make it work.
I feel like you should, just for your namesakes.
For my namesakes. I mean, most of the Beatrice anime characters out there are pretty dope, except for the ones that are like bitch witches, like literally.
What?
There's like some character. I don't know if it's from an actual anime or like a game, but like she's like crazy and she has blonde hair and she's like her name is Beatrice. I'm like, I don't know why there's like angry and blonde is synonymous with Beatrice in anime, but like here we are.
So
Sorry, side note.
people asking, how do you go about creating a fan panel? Like how hard is it to access and get set up?
Ooh, okay. I'm assuming this is for me, unless
I
like
assume none
you
of
don't
us
want to take
have
it.
created fan panels.
Okay. um, like definitely. So I'm gonna take this as like an in character or like just like in character of some kind versus like talking about something. And so like or I guess in general, like the general tips for it would be like find a convention and like number one, like find a convention that you can apply for because a lot of conventions will have like Google Forms and rules online with like, oh, like submit your fan panels. And a lot of them, like a lot of the staff that I've talked to, like love fan panels because it's like what keeps people coming back and going, and like it's just like is a large part of like con life is some kind of panels. And so usually you go on there and they have like rules for submissions and they have like help and you can again like go on YouTube and get like ideas for it I would find something that you're super passionate about and don't mind talking about for anywhere between like an hour or two. Like if you have a series you love, like do that. If you have like a game you love, go do that. If you love like something like create, like if you like creating things or sewing or something, like really you can do a panel on almost anything you want. And like the more like excited you are about it, the more like I guess like the better the product is probably going to be. So decide like general like the topic what you want to do. Usually on the forum it'll say like, oh, is this like an in character, is it a game show, is it a karaoke night, or blah blah blah. And so you can kind of go off of that and like definitely like YouTube like, oh, like Kill la Kill like sleepover, or like My Hero trivia or whatever. Just like kind of like research it. And then like part of like what has made my group's panels more successful is just trial and error. Like we show up the first like panel and we realize, oh, like audience members don't like getting up and also being dumb all the time. Or like, oh, they don't know these like weird niche trivia topics. And so like it takes like just kind of like being there to like tweak a couple of things. But like if you're passionate and if you follow the rules on the website and if you have like something unique to throw in, like ours, like nobody had done like a sleepover panel in conjunction with like being in character, which is like kind of what like the draw was, is what the entertainment or the entertainment staff told us. And they were like, oh yeah, this is like a unique idea. So if you can put like a spin on like a normal panel, people are gonna like come, they're gonna be like, oh, like what is this? And then the entertainment people will be like, oh, this is like more exciting. So yeah, submit like a really good app. If you are gonna like be very detailed, like if you're gonna submit something, because then that makes it shows the people that are like looking at the panels and like approving them or like disproving it, that you're like passionate about it and that you like seem professional and you're not gonna like make the convention look bad and you're gonna show up like on time, etc. Setup wise, like if you're gonna do a like workshop, make sure you have like everything you need for that. If you need materials, if you need like a slideshow, make sure you have it pre-prepared. Just like treat it as if you were gonna like teach like an actual class. Like if you're trying to get people to actually learn, make sure you have the things to help them learn. If you're trying to entertain people, make sure you have things that's gonna be entertaining. Usually they'll like ask in the application if you need help getting set up, like, oh, like do you need help with your tech stuff, or do you need help like moving things around? And then the con staff / volunteers will like change the room setup, or they'll make sure you have microphones or whatever. And so like really the majority of it goes down whenever you're like planning out the panel and then submitting it. And then like by the time you get to the con, like everything should be ready to rock and roll. But that is just my experiences with paneling.
Are there certain conventions that are better or easier to get into paneling for, or are they all kind of the same throughout?
Oh, definitely smaller conventions. It's easier to like be a panelist. Like stuff that's like way more like trafficked, I guess, like San Japan, like A-Con and those kind of things. Like because there's just so many more people that want to run panels, like usually you need to have a couple under your belt or have like a stellar idea to get in. That's why Aggie-Con is like where my friends and I started, is because it was like smaller and like there was just like less content and less competition. But usually if you can get like a couple of smaller cons under your belt and you can like provide video evidence or just say like, hey, I've worked with like these other staffers before. Like at least in Texas, most of the staff works the same conventions. Like a lot of the same people will go like around this kind of circuit. And so if you like do really good at one convention and people have good things to say about you, you are way more likely to get in another convention. But yeah, definitely small ones first.
How likely is it for you guys to get rejected for panels?
Um, I've been rejected. I would say like 20% of the time. Just because if it's like an idea that's like already been used, or if you have like certain time constraints, like if you're more flexible on like, oh yeah, I can do it from Friday morning until Sunday night is like my time range, then it's more likely to get like put in, because there's some events that they just like can't move around, or if you have like more senior panelists that only can be there for the certain time, they're probably going to give them that spot. And so you're going to get rejected if it's like not a very well written application, if you have like a very specific time schedule that conflicts with like more like prioritized events, or if you like have a shitty history with the convention. Like if you like set things on fire at the con 3 months ago and the staffers are like, no, don't let them in, then like you're not going to come back. Like you're
Okay.
going to have to like somehow turn it around again. But yeah, most of the time if it's like well written and you like are very well like, if you're like literate, I guess, like if you, it sounds like you put time and effort into your application and it's at a small con and you're flexible with your hours, you'll get in.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Do.
Thanks for coming to my lecture, kids.
Very informational.
I hope that
Yes.
helps.
No,
I
it
should have
was.
brought my presentation, my PowerPoint.
So for your sleepover panel, did you guys have like a PowerPoint and stuff, like a game? I just
I
want. I'm curious how that went.
I think I still have it like somewhere.
wasn't it
But
mostly improv, I think, when I did went to your panel. But you had like some slides, didn't
yeah,
you? But a lot of it was
Mhm.
just the improv of the people, like the dynamic of B talking back and forth with her other panelists, making like a fun environment. And then they would do like games and stuff, and there would slides as like backup. But most of it was like interacting and entertaining directly.
So
yeah. Like, and I
be on
think
the spot.
yeah, I think and mostly it's because we've done that panel like 7 times or something, like some crazy
Wow.
amount. Like, so we're all just like, and now is this portion of it, and so we just kind of
Mhm.
roll into it. But I think like in the beginning, whenever we were in like a room that had like a big projector and everybody was facing the front, like I really liked using a PowerPoint, and I still like using it just for like visual like aid. Like we had like a flower background, and it was like, oh, on High School Host Club, and like we would use it to kind of transition between games. And we did like a trivia section where it was like you had to like play charades, and so we had like all the characters up there. And so like if you think it'll help, like definitely add like some kind of element like that, because it can really make your panel like pop. And then if people are walking by, they'll be like, oh my gosh, it's Oron, or like, oh my gosh, they have such cool like visual aids, that's awesome.
Yeah, that
Or
makes
like
it
we've
like
had like
really immersive. I don't know.
yeah, like we have like I think I still have probably the majority of music on my phone is from conventions, and like I have a whole playlist just of Oron music that we would play as like walk-in slash leaving music.
Huh.
um yeah,
So
we
fun,
love
so
visual aids.
detailed.
I'm
Wow.
just extra, that's why.
No, that's probably why your concert, I mean, your panels are so successful because you were so detail oriented about every aspect and like making the experience special for them.
I think
It's
it definitely
awesome.
makes a difference. We tried to have, I
Mhm.
think we were like prizes like the first year. Like we talked to like
Oh.
a prize or like a little, I think it was Toy Joy. I don't know if y'all have ever been in Austin, but it's
Mhm.
like a little toy
Yeah.
slash like Japanese merch store. And we literally like, oh, this was crazy, y'all. This was like a crazy moment. But I emailed them and I was like, hey, we're gonna like be at this like local convention. Do y'all mind like donating some like prizes for us? And the guy was like, yeah, no problem. What do y'all want? And I was like, oh my god, this is, you're just like, you don't even ask for ID, like you're just gonna give me a bunch of free shit.
Thanks.
And so like they gave us like this huge bag of like all these like little goodies, like little erasers and little like Japanese like things. And they gave us like a Nendroid too. Like they were like, yeah, we just have this extra like Miku Nendroid hanging out. We were like, cool, I
What
guess we
the
have
heck?
like a grand prize. And so like definitely reach out to like local businesses if you want to do a game show, because at least that one was like more than happy to like help us out with our panel and give us prizes.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We should do that.
Getting the
For
getting
Aggie-SAMA.
Yeah.
shops involved.
Ideas
Do
for next
it.
semester. Now
Yeah.
that we
And
got a high five, maybe.
high five. Yeah. I don't know if AggieCon comes back, just do what we did and be like, hey, can we have things? And they'll be like, yeah.
I feel like that's at least 2 years. That's gonna be after me. That's someone else's problem.
Yep.
We're just gonna keep the email chain going of make sure you get free prizes, kids.
Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah. Anything else about panels or preparing for panels y'all want to know?
Nah. But
Crickets.
talking about the room situation before reminded me of like I think the worst time I ever had with the most crowded I was in a hotel room was I was in DAS just doing something else and my friend messaged me and they were like, "Hey, I'm at Acon if you guys want to come hang out with me." And I was like, "Sure." But since it was like a very like last minute, like the next day in the convention, so I didn't know it having this place, so I just went to the Facebook group. That Facebook is only good for like two things. It's for like catching up on like friends you've talked in 10 years, and also the groups for conventions, because that's a good place to talk to people if you need help or have questions. But I was there, I was like, hey, like I am looking for a place to crash and chill. Does anyone have space? And then like within 2 hours, some guy was like, hey, I got a space for you. It's a little
Oh,
crowded, but if you don't mind, you
That's
can. It's
so
cheap and we can
sketchy.
chill. So
pretty
literally, like
sketch.
next day, it was really sketch, but anime people are chill, I guess. I don't know. It was fine.
Maybe I don't
Maybe
know.
not,
Like I
but
never want to be like gendered about it, but like I would be like
yeah, as a
very
girl, I
against.
could understand. I could see as you too, but as a guy, I was okay. And I came in, they had like two kids. with them
Oh.
like little two babies, not kids, but babies.
Oh.
And I
Oh
was
my
like
god.
underneath the nightstand in the sleeping bag, and that was my entire space was
Oh.
like the space underneath the nightstand, and it was like eight of us and two babies, and it was like
That's
crowded.
Eight and
crazy.
two babies.
Yeah, the babies didn't cry as much, but they were pretty chill people from like when I talked to them, so I knew they weren't
Hmm.
like 20-year-old predators kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I love con space.
Yep.
only in conventions where you just have
Only at conventions. My
random
favorite
Yep.
people be
meme.
like, come, you can chill and sleep in our room without
Come sleep
babies.
with my babies.
That's a weird way to phrase things.
Oh
It's
no.
oh, that's so weird. Oh, so weird. I would never. I think it's just
I
because I
were the
also
parent of those babies, I'd be like, I don't know.
no
Uh,
What?
man.
but yeah,
That's so funny. I
I
mean,
was
I guess it was fine though.
it
Like
was
I
Yeah.
thought it
fine,
was
but it was
fine.
definitely the sketchiest thing I've had to do with conventions was be like, hey strangers, can I just crash at your place for a day? And it was really cheap. It was like $10 for the night because of how many
Oh
people were
my
in
Oh my
there.
god,
god.
Tim, are
So
you sure they didn't like steal your kidney or something?
last check I still have them,
This is so sketch.
but yeah, it was sketch. But
I'm
it
glad you're here
happens.
today.
Yeah, I'm happy you made it out. I mean, those kids could
Yep.
have been like serial killers.
Those 1-year-olds, yeah,
Those
Yeah.
deadly.
babies. I
Yeah,
really hope that those babies grow up and are like, man, I wonder how that random guy that was in our hotel room that one day is doing.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I hope they won't remember me. I really don't. Yeah.
that's so crazy. I don't have any weird like hotel room like stories, I guess. Aside
It's
from like the one time like when I was like living across from like or like when I was in a hotel room next to my dad, like when I still knew him, like he and some of my older like guy cousins came and they just got like wasted like
Oh
every night
no.
and they would be so loud. And it was like after I started doing like idol stuff and like we'd have to get up early and do these performances
No.
and they were like screaming at 3 a.m. So I literally like banged on the door and was like, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm like gonna have an issue. And then they were quiet for the rest of the night. But I was like, Dad, if you do this again, I'm gonna disown you. I don't know how, but I'm gonna like make you leave the family. That was so not okay. But like I don't have any like stranger stories. It was all people I know that I could be like, all right, here's the tea.
Stayed with strangers either. I've always gone, yeah, with my parents where they get a hotel room too, or with friends. But oh my god, I I don't even know if I don't know if that'd be possible now. I mean, not with COVID, but like
what would be possible.
a few years ago, it was like, all right, room up with some strangers. But I don't know if I'd be even as like a guy. I don't know if I'd be willing to room with strangers like that
I feel like
unless I was extremely desperate. I
it,
don't know.
I feel like it's not as rare as people think. Because I think I see
Is
that
it
quite a few times in the Facebook groups where people are like, hey, we need someone to fill our space because we want to pay less, or like
like
I'm looking for
is it
space.
awkward?
Yeah,
That's the
Uh,
question.
I
that's
mean,
a
I
great
kept to
question.
myself and they kept to themselves. It was just,
I see.
general meet
Okay.
and greet. And
I
I've,
guess as long as you're just like coming there to sleep, it doesn't really matter. But
That's
and
such a foreign
yeah,
concept to me at a con. Like my con is like the hotel room is like my like safe space where like my friends and I
mhm.
can hang out and be like, LOL, that weird dude in the elevator, blah blah blah. Like just going and sleeping and like not doing anything else in there and not talking to the people would be so awkward for me. I don't
Takes
know.
away from the camaraderie kind of vibes that I
Yeah.
try to associate with like conventions.
yeah. Like I've
But
done.
you can create that with strangers too, or with acquaintances too.
Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't mean
That's
to
true.
interrupt you. Go ahead.
I've done rooms where it was like mutuals, like we like knew people who knew each other, but we didn't know each other exactly. So we were kind of
Yeah.
strangers when we like crashed together, but we bonded throughout times, and that's better than complete strangers. And you can
Okay,
still make that camaraderie up. Yeah,
I have a little questiony thing coming from Chad, but like, how do y'all feel like preferentially? Like, would you rather have a hotel that is like more expensive, like right next to you, or like that is the con center, or would you rather have like a hotel that's like cheaper and then just like drive to the con?
Shoot.
see,
Okay. Someone else has got to go first. I got to think.
I'm a little biased because I don't usually pay. So now,
What?
so I've done so many conventions nowadays where like most of the times when I do conventions, it's usually to help out with like artist alley stuff and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
usually one of the perks of doing that is they'll cover your hotel fee.
Oh,
So I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. But
damn.
I would
Okay.
say I don't I think I would say stay farther away than pay the hotel costs. But there's something really nice about like waking up and just doing a 5 minute walk to the convention. Like
Mhm.
If that, if it's not just like an elevator ride downstairs.
yeah,
Right.
like even in like Matsui, it's in the George R. Brown Convention Center, but there's like a Hilton that has like a sky bridge connecting to it. So you
Yeah.
stay in the Hilton, wake up, walk across the sky bridge, and you're at the convention. And there's a feeling that you just can't have otherwise doing that.
I've only
Yeah.
stayed in the actual con hotel once, and I loved that. Like I loved being able to just ride up to the hotel room, one elevator, and you were right there. But at the same time, it is kind of chaotic, like staying in the hotel because you don't really have like a neutral space where you can just hang out in the lobby or something. So staying at like a close but nearby hotel, I think is probably the most efficient way to go because you're saving so much money by not staying at the
hmm
actual con hotel. I don't
That's
know.
Also,
true.
I also know cosplayers have a different priority, especially the ones like Bisa who like changes 3 times a day. They have like a morning,
Mhm.
afternoon, night. So like they have to
Oh,
have a
yeah.
hotel room like right next door so they can like go to the
Right.
room, change, and come right out. And you live like 10 minutes away. It's not really possible to like drive and come back and change and do that 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's literally me. Although, that's a good point about like you, like if you're at the hotel, like you're just like in con space. Like you are
mhm.
submerged for like 72 hours or like however
But
long you're there.
don't you? But I don't know. I feel like that's kind of why you go to
Like
con is to be in that con space
See,
for
that's
like
like
the
the side
weekend.
that I'm on. Like
right.
I'm 100% in camp like at the beginning, like in January, I'm like, all right, like cracks fingers, let's get ready to put $500 for IkiCon in my budget or whatever. And like
Uh-huh.
I will 100% shell out like them big boy bucks just to like number one be able to have that ability to go back to my hotel room within like 30 seconds, or number two, like not stay in like some like shady places for cheaper, just because I've had both experiences and it has been like a time. like
Mhm.
like just, and also like what you're talking about with helping Tim and how like they'll like comp your room usually.
Hmm
Like when I started doing panelist things, like a lot of conventions will do like if you run like 3 or more panels or 2 or more panels, you'll get like a comped room,
Yeah.
or you'll get like comped like membership, for the con, so you can save money there.
Oh,
um, and so it'll like depend, and like yeah, some conventions will like give you a free room and others will like just give you like one free badge and others will give you like 5 free badges or whatever. And like personally, like because I like doing like so much stuff, and like while I'm not like changing into 3 cosplays, I'm usually doing like 3 or 4 different events during the day, and so like I really like being able to go back to my hotel room and like eat like the food that we brought, or like just like
Just have a
take a
place to
shower,
chill.
yep.
or you just like
The,
breathe and just
yeah.
be like, wow, I am literally at a con and I have not slept more than 3 hours cumulatively this whole weekend, blah blah blah. And so like it is definitely super nice, and I will always and forever, if I have the option, like shell out that extra money just to like have that luxury. Like I just like treat myself nice at cons, but also I don't sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Like conventions are stuff you do like once or twice a year. So
Mhm.
I feel like it's okay to share those extra bucks since you're not really
Yeah.
doing it every week. It's our way to treat ourselves.
oh yeah, that's what I spent all my money on. Like literally, I would work during the year, and then I would blow most of my budget on convention. Like aside from like saving for what I needed to. Like I never was like behind on rent, but
Yeah.
I was not like irresponsible, but I like all of my extra spending money was on like conventions or cosplay. Like so that was just
Same.
Yeah.
like what gave me joy. So
Mhm.
yeah. What else? What else was on our itinerary list?
Um,
Hmm.
cosplay. We did cosplay. We did panels. How about dancing? Is dancing anything different for you?
Dancing. Okay, yeah. For my people who don't know, my friends and I did like a dance group. It was another one of those things where like we went to like it's called the Texas Idol Festival, where you audition to like get up and perform at like the convention, with like as like a dance number or like a singing thing. And so we went and saw one, and we were both like, so we
Wow.
like started doing it. I mean, we're obviously not the best people there. There are some freaking talented people there. I just am happy to be able to get up and like have fun and dance with my friends. But like guesting is like a whole different experience. Like there's like membership is like base level, and then panelist is like, oh, you're like in it, and then guesting is like, oh my god, you're like in it. Like you're like, this is the con. Because at least for dancing, like you specifically you have to send in like an audition tape like months prior. And like you don't get to know until like you get in until like maybe a couple weeks before the con. And so my friends and I would like
God.
practice like hours and hours and hours for like our 20-minute set list or whatever. And then like 2 weeks before the con, we would know like that we would make it or not. So like sometimes you like practice and then it turns out like, oh nope, you didn't make it into that one. But we
That's
had
so
like
sad.
I know luckily it didn't happen to us because we had like really good relationships with the organizers and we just tried really hard and we tried to put out like a really good product. But yeah, like there was a couple groups where that happened too. And like because it's like I think there's some conventions where like the Texas Idol Festival partnered with the con and so like they knew ahead of time and so like we had more time to prepare. But other ones they had to go through as like a normal like panelist membership thing. And so yeah, they don't usually tell you panel itineraries until like 2 weeks before. And so like that was fun. That was a time of just being like, did we really just spend 80 hours practicing and we don't know if we're gonna get in or not? Okay, that's fun. And then you have like 6 a.m. rehearsals. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I'm surprised that the Texas, the dance the committee isn't like recognized as like a high organization and they're like on the same level as panelists. Because I
Yeah,
feel like
well,
they've established themselves as like, a actual decent organization where they should not have to wait the same level as like, I don't know, the Gundam meeting to find out whether or not they'll be in or
yeah.
not.
Gundam Chief 999 on Tumblr and him just like talking about Gundam.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like some I think it's because they have like an established relationship with some cons, but other ones are like, oh, like y'all are still relatively new, or like, oh, you're not like professional or whatever. So IkiCon was one where they like prioritized Idol Festival, and but like I don't know if it was Delta or if it was like something else, but like there was one of them where they were literally like on this like really crappy stage, and like the like rehearsal time was at like 5 a.m. because they had like other events all day. And like yeah, it was just like rough. But like for the most part, the cons that my friends and I would go to, and like they're usually Texas Idol Festival has like 10 shows a year or something, and my friends and I would only do like 2 or 3 just because of how our schedules worked in school and etc. And so that was another reason that we would get priority, is because we were like in state and we only did a couple of conventions and we did them really well.
Mm.
But yeah, that's
Nice.
my dancing experience.
Wow.
It's fun. Y'all should do it.
So, did you guys make your like costumes for those too, or did you buy them?
We did. I have a friend who is like really great at sewing, and she is fantastic. And like I can kind of sew, but she can like pop out these like beautiful costumes. And so usually it would be like her like drafting it up, and then we are just kind of like help her. On our website, cough cough, teaching cosplay. Like all of the costumes on there, except for the ones that are like, I think there's maybe 2 that like were just like cosplays, not necessarily like dance costumes, were like handmade by us.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I need to
Oh,
see
it's
it
so
now.
fun.
Did you
I
guys
need to
do
see
the Love Live one too?
So yeah, our first performance was me and Anna. We like made our own Love Live cosplays, and we performed at a like oh yeah, pull up that website
Uh,
that I spent 3 years on. It's not even that
what
good.
was
I
the name
just
of
like
it?
tteamcosplay.com or like tteam.com. I think it's tteam cosplay.
team.
T Team Cosplay. This your Instagram. I can
Yeah.
probably work my way through there.
Boop, 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 boop. It should be in our bio somewhere.
There we go.
Yeah, we did
You guys
not
are
make those.
so intricate.
Those were not our. That was bought from
Okay, gotcha.
AliExpress, not those. Sorry. But if you scroll
No, you're
down,
good.
we have a gallery that has all of our like art that we've done before. Like that's just more of it.
I
There's
know the
my
Overwatch one. Oh, the
attractive
Snow.
friend.
Oh, this one was still my favorite. I really like this. The
The
Midnights.
blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the midnights, I think we ended up calling it.
Gosh.
Midnights were good.
Woo! Very pretty.
The bunny suits were fun. That was a really fun thing. We made those Love Live ones. The Love Live ones we didn't make were the bottom 2. That was before we started making our own costumes. I don't think we danced in those either, but I think we danced in everything else that was on that
You
page.
didn't dance in Chat Noir.
I mean, not that's recorded.
Okay.
In the least cryptic way possible. Not that I want anybody to
That's
see.
That's a little.
Oh, and I didn't
Suspicious.
dance in Hitalia either. That was just for a photo shoot.
Did you dance in Overwatch?
Well, no, that's true. We were gonna do like a maid cafe thing, but it didn't work out.
There was already a maid cafe Overwatch at
Yeah,
that
I know we
convention.
were applying like for that like position at first, and then there was like a conflict, and so we ended up not being able to help.
It was a very disappointing outcome, I remember.
Again, like my friends and I were sitting there, and we were like, we could do better.
Yeah.
And then the third girl in our group was like, we can't, like we don't have time, and we were all like, oh man.
Anyways,
But yeah, we made those. Those were fun, and we have a couple more that like just aren't on there. Like we have one that we did at Delta HCon that was like ice cream flavors. That was super fun. I think if you go to our videos, it shows like screen caps of us in our costumes. So we have like a
I don't see
one from
videos.
last IckyCon that we did that was called Racing, and it was like this vinyl fabric that was so hot. Like all of us were dying the whole time. Or maybe it's performances. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've been on this website.
Oh, like beautiful and organized though. I love it.
Thanks. I had a lot of fun making it. I think I might just go into graphic design later.
That's all right.
It's on. I'm looking at it right now. Boop, 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 boop.
Graphic
It might be.
design's a little too anal for me. I don't know.
Oh, it's in idle activities and then past performances is where all of our videos are.
You guys have way too many tabs, I feel like.
We have a lot. Animal. We just got video or photos of animal. That's animal. That one's snow. The other one was cupcake. There's ice cream. Wow, we have so many costumes.
That's a lot.
There's so many. They're usually like $100 each, if not more, just because of how much fabric and like trims we put into it. Like I spend the same amount on these costumes as I did on some of my more intricate cosplays. Whee! They're very fun though. I definitely like don't regret any of it. 100% would recommend. Again, like if you have a great group of people that you want to do stuff with, like
Just
sky's the limit.
just go for
Live
it.
your best life. Just go for it. Cons are the best place to do it because if you have passion, there's like a 99% chance that it will go somewhere because they're literally like looking for people that are passionate to like be entertainment. Like if you have something to offer and you want to offer it, go for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So
Now we're done with B lecturing.
we kind of see how B kind of evolved from her convention to where she is now. From like attending to be like, this is not good enough. I'm gonna make everything better on my own. And now she's running 20 different panels and doing everything.
Just about.
How about you, Anna? Has anything like evolved from your like times? Like have your interests shifted at all?
Well, I went from being completely absorbed with it, and that was like the only thing I would focus on year round, and like attempting to create costumes. And then I went to just being a regular con goer and kind of just taking a step back and not being, not dedicating all of my time and money to it anymore, which is like, it is kind of disappointing because I want to be involved with conventions more and like cosplay. And honestly, I am interested in panels too, but it is so much, so much, so much, so much. Like just planning out different aspects of a cosplay is already like pretty tedious for me. Like even just planning out the materials and all of that, just getting started is like pretty overwhelming at first. And just knowing how much time goes into it already, I'm like weary about diving back in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still excited and interested in it at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to get back into it. I just gotta start saving up and have something that I'm passionate about because right now I'm just not super into any characters in particular. I don't know.
What if you cosplayed in the
There's not a
Mm.
past?
lot of in the
You had a cute Ochako.
past.
Where's your
I
cosplay
did do.
pictures? Where are they at?
All right, let's see. I did Kirino from shit
Oimo?
Orimo. Yep.
Okay.
Cute.
That was like I think that was A Fest and that was really early. Super cringe. I'll send pics. An officer real quick.
I'll pull him up.
Here goes nothing. And then oh shit, I can't see what these are.
But who's the type of characters you like to cosplay as? Maybe we can give you some inspiration.
Uh
Ooh, that's a great question. Do you have a type that you cosplay as, or are you like very versatile?
pretty versatile. I honestly don't even care. Like I would cosplay a guy too if I had a character that I really liked. But mostly like sassy girls or like princess girls.
And it is so cute. Oh my god.
It's
This
you.
one, okay. I did there's one cosplay that I did that I am extremely proud of. Um which is Latifa from Amagi Brilliant Park.
Oh,
And my mom helped me make this big old ball gown dress. And that was the only cosplay that I ever felt like, damn, that was really awesome. But yeah, I'll
Latifah's
send pics of that too if I can
Latifah's such a
find them.
cool character. Amagi's such a fun show, actually. Not many people talk about it.
I loved that anime, and I'm so sad that it wasn't as popular as I expected, but very
It was,
cute.
I don't know. I feel like just Q&A has this weird thing where they can only do cute stuff now. And every time they're trying to, or cute or like, very pretty stuff.
True.
And anytime they go outside of it, people
Mhm.
just like, it
People
glosses
hate
over
it.
them.
Oh no, you have the picture
It's,
pulled up. Oh my
yep.
god. Oh my god, that
That's a good
face.
pose. I think that's a very fitting
That's
pose
my
for Q&A.
and I had to crop out my friends that actually cosplayed with me because I know they would be pissed if I showed them. I can't get these other ones to go. Let me see if I can DM them to you. Because this one I actually do want to fucking show off. Where the hell?
Ooh, we got things going down the DMs. That's spicy.
Oh.
I can't. Tim,
That's a
where
cute
are you?
wig.
Thank you. That was I think I was 14 in that photo. It's a real good
Oh,
time.
baby. Dude, you were
Like
cosplaying
a
earlier than
little
I was. I
baby.
didn't cosplay until I was like 16.
Or it could be me and just haven't
I
cosplayed
wish
yet.
I hadn't until I was 16 because it was not a good
No.
time before then.
Oh, I have couple, only a couple cringy cosplay photos because like I was so scared to like look cringy that I waited until like I felt more confident. But looking back now, I'm like, oh girl, what is that wig? What is that crusty costume? Who do you think you are? But also, she
Um
got me where I am today.
Yeah, you
So
gotta start somewhere.
it's true.
exactly. Yeah,
Gotta.
you can't always be amazing at your talent or whatever skill you're
You,
starting.
you gotta suck at
And
it first before you can get kind of okay.
I literally can't send these pictures. I don't know what's up with this.
They might be too
No.
big.
Oh, that might be it. It's like a good quality picture and it's not sending.
That's a shame.
No!
Is it on your phone?
Actually, on my computer.
Okay. You can try screenshotting it and sending it.
But I was just, yeah, this is the only cosplay I'm actually proud of, so I definitely need to send pics.
Yeah,
But,
send it. I think you look cute and everything though. Don't put yourself down.
well, this one is just crafted well because my mom helped. That's it.
Actually, I don't know if it's cosplaying, but we had like a Renaissance fair at my middle school, and my mom helped me make me like a little knight outfit. Like we went to Joanne, got the fabric,
Adorable.
and we like did
Cute.
it. It's not really a convention, but I guess that counts as a cosplay.
Dude, that's where I
It's
started
a
too.
costume. Hmm.
My like high school English class would take a trip to the Ren Fest every year, and like I started cosplaying there. I guess it was cosplay. Like I thought I was just dressing up as a costume, but like I did it one year, and then a couple of my friends did it with me the next year, and then the year after that, like everybody did it, and I was like, oh my god, what have I started? I'm so proud of myself. But definitely, Renfest is the gateway drug to conventions. You heard it here, folks.
I cosplayed as Axel from Kingdom Hearts in the 5th grade or 6th grade.
Yes,
Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts.
Nice.
Hearts. Those wigs scare me.
Anime here. What are you gonna do?
Can poke an eye out.
But yeah.
Okay, I think I got it this time. I did.
Oh.
Got 2. There you go.
Oh, that is a very nice
Yeah.
dress. Is that
Thank
all from
you.
scratch?
Yes,
Very
I want
completely,
to
except
pretty.
for the
see.
underskirt
Give me a
that's
second.
underneath all of it.
I lost the projector. There it is.
I want to hype that praise.
Look at this cute dress.
Girl, that is so cute. You made that?
Me and my mom, yeah.
That's so good. Oh my god.
So that's my only accomplishment in cosplay, and that'll probably be the biggest one until I die, but
No way.
just kidding. I'll try again
That's
at some
so
point.
cute. Oh
But I think
my god.
I was 15 in that picture.
Dang.
Hell yeah.
A
But
baby.
have you seen Amagi Brilliant Park B?
I've seen like the first 2 episodes.
It's a good anime. Very cute, very
It
cute.
it was cute. I don't remember why I like stopped watching it, but I don't think there was anything wrong with it. I definitely remember the cute vibes though.
Should go back and finish it.
Should I? Should I go do the thing?
Just stop right now. Leave. Just leave. Leave the call and
Bye.
go watch it.
See y'all. It was good.
But yeah. I,
That's so cute.
I definitely feel like conventions has changed for me over the time, where I've seen my priorities like slowly shift. Because like when I first do conventions, I was very excited and happy about everything, and I like do all the panels, and I would like mark down, like I would take a screenshot and circle everything I went to, and I would just like dash back and forth between all the
Mhm.
panels, and then
Oh
it kind of,
yeah.
hmm and it would shift to like my interest was always in the artist alley and exhibit stuff. So I would still write down all the panels, but if I missed one, it would be like, okay, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I'm okay missing in, just chilling some more in the exhibitors hall. And then we kind of like, I had a couple of friends who were doing art stuff and they were selling, and I kind of shifted from that to like helping them, where now it wasn't me going to conventions to go and walk around and do these panels and buy stuff. It was to go and hang out with my friends and sell some art with them. And it was fun because it was all the times with people that I wouldn't see otherwise because we were just like con buddies, so we wouldn't see each other until then. So it'd be kind of just chill and sit down and hang out with them and also just help them sell. And then now I'm in a position where like it doesn't feel right unless I'm doing that kind of stuff, unless I'm like sitting there
Yeah.
and working. I'm just dead tired. I don't do any of the night stuff these days anymore because after, you sit there for 8 hours and then you just go, something's just exhausting about selling for 8 hours. Even though you're just sitting,
Oh,
not really doing anything,
definitely.
you just come back to your room and you just pass out. And then you wake up at like 7 in the morning to go and do it again. But it's nice the fact that it's a lot cheaper because your stuff is paid for because you're helping them out. So they're like, oh, well, it's a very customer thing to kind of help pay for your um, expenses since you're helping them. So conventions are now, and also you get the artist badges now. I am very spoiled now because I get these artist
Oh,
badges, which just lets you get
Wow.
in early and you can skip all the lines for the artist alley and sometimes exhibit hall. And I can't do lines anymore.
VIP.
So
Wow.
I can't go back now. I've been spoiled.
Tim is like, I can't be with the
Can't go
plebs
back.
anymore.
But
Yeah, you can't go back to the regular
you can't go
experience.
back, no. But it's you definitely get a lot less since you're kind of trapped behind that booth all the time. It's definitely
Mhm.
not like, oh, this is like the easy way to get all the things because it is a lot of responsibility and commitment. You kind of like
Yeah.
set yourself aside too. But like
Still quite the grind. Yeah.
For me, it's nice because you also
Any route you take.
make some side
Sorry, go ahead.
cash, and I kind of save that to my that's my convention fund. You know, I try to be
Mhm.
self-sufficient where if I spend any money at conventions, I try to be the money that I make at conventions. So like
Oh,
I'll go to conventions and save up a little bit all throughout the year, and then I go to like AX and I'll just spend it all. And that way I
Yeah.
won't feel as bad spending like $400 on a figure because I'll know like, oh, that's money I made doing Reap stuff, and
Yeah, that's
it's
smart.
nice. But I don't know, my priorities kind of change. I don't know if I can go back to being like a guy who waits in a line for an hour for a panel now.
see, but that's like my
Mhm.
favorite thing about conventions is just the fact that like your priorities can change, but you can like still go back. Like that just goes to
Yeah.
show like how much is going on conventions that you can like have a total like 180 of what you enjoy doing and still enjoy being there just because of like the sheer number of different like things there is to do at a con.
Mhm. There's literally something for everyone there. Even if you don't even like anime, there's probably some gaming stuff for you there
Oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's a
actually,
gaming room.
San
Mhm.
Japan, we had Mickey, bless Mickey. He came up to San Japan purely to spend his entire day at the gaming section because they had a Japanese arcade machine that you couldn't find anywhere else, basically. So his entire day for all the entire weekend of San Japan was just at the gaming section on the arcades, just playing games, and
Oh
he had a
my god.
blast.
Mickey.
And I'm like,
I know.
you do you, you're having a great time doing your thing, so you
Mhm.
know, people enjoy in many different ways.
And they
That's
even
so
have like little
cute.
mini D&D stuff there
Oh
sometimes.
yes.
I've tried that a couple times.
D&D
Yep.
werewolves, y'all like I don't
Yep.
think y'all understand like how fantastic like or just like how big of an impact like this one first Acon convention had on me because they had like werewolves and it was like a guy that was leading it and a group of like 30 of us that would go there from like midnight to 3 a.m. like all 3 days in a row because that's how fun it was. And now like I
Oh
love
my god.
werewolves. Like there are some like weird subcults within like cons and it's great.
Yeah. I remember a few years back, Matt Mercer was at Acon and he was doing like a one-shot D&D, and Matt Mercer is like a super hilarious chill guy who does Critical Role, which is a pretty popular D&D thing that he does a bunch of
Oh
other voice
yeah,
actors. And he was
he's
in a one
great.
shot with a bunch of like such random people in the crowd, and I really want to go, but I like had dinner plans to like hang out with friends, and I was hoping I could make it back in time to hang
Oh,
out, but it ended up running late, so I missed it. But it would have
damn
been
it.
so nice to go and just slip away for a bit and do D&D with him.
Oh my god, I just remembered somebody that I met when I went to Acon in 2013. I went to go get a signature or an autograph from Vic Mignogna. And I know now
Wow.
he's
Ah,
like a little controversial,
mm-hmm.
but at that time I was obsessed with him and I was very excited to meet him. I was like on the I'm embarrassed to say this. I was like on the verge of tears
And
when I met him because I was like really nervous. But he was so nice and he just, took a picture and did whatever, but it was really cool. I think meeting not celebrities, but I mean, I guess they are
like
celebrities.
kind of celebrities,
Voice
Yeah,
yeah.
actors and
like
any other
the
like
industry
YouTuber
people.
that you like, yeah,
Yeah,
industry people. There's so much to do. Just like you have to pick and choose. And honestly, I'd love to do it all, but you just have to find your priorities wherever they may lie and then go from there and try to explore to new areas at the same time
Yeah, dude,
if
that's
you
why you go
feel
to the
like
next
it.
convention. It's because you're like, oh my
Mhm.
god, like I wish I had more of this, and then you
Yeah.
can.
And you can just explore so many different avenues of the same culture. I don't know. It's just so much fun. I miss it so much.
Me too. We
yeah.
should keep tally of like the shots game of
Uh,
like how many times do we say I miss cons?
Take a shot every
yup.
time.
Take a shot every time we sigh.
But yeah, industry people are great because they just give insight. I mean, first of all, it's nice meeting like people that you look up to and that you like
Mhm.
respect their works, but it's also nice to hear them like get the insight on what it's like behind the scene.
Yeah.
It's I can't imagine. I love that kind of stuff. Like,
Oh my god. I just remembered I almost got to be a guest at the same time, like Toph's voice actor.
Oh my god.
Michaela, I don't remember her last name. Jessie Flowers was like her like stage name when she was younger, but now it's like Michaela something. But that would have been so cool.
That would have been incredible.
Big sad. If
Holy
only.
shit.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. that was my one like
No,
if
you're
only
good.
story right now. But yeah, no, there's definitely like a lot of really cool people. I also really like enjoy talking to the volunteers because my question is like, why are y'all here? Like, why are you choosing to like spend hours for a con that like the most of the con goers like just like won't even say thank you? Like, what is bringing you here? And a lot of people are like, oh, like
Yeah.
I just like being at a con, or like, oh, I like being able to like see all the panels or blah blah blah. And, like, so I think the staff there are like
Aren't there
equally as dope.
benefits for helping at a convention too?
Sometimes
Like
you get like comped badge or
free
membership.
rooms and free badges and stuff?
Yeah, but then you still have like a shift. Like you're still like
Yeah,
working something during the
but
convention.
some people may say that's worth it, like working, say, 8 hours the entire weekend to get like a free room for the weekend.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. I just do guesting and like go hard for like 20 hours out of the day. Woo.
Ooh. Favorite conventions. What is the best and why?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
have my answer.
Let's say your answer.
So the convention that will always have a special place in my heart is IckyCon, just because like that's where it all started. And as much as I love like the big cons where there's like so much to do and there's like always panels happening until like 3 a.m. and like there's a whole bunch of people, like I really like being able to go to a con that's in a hotel for the reasons of like you can just go up to your hotel room and like take a break if you need to, and like usually all of the content is like really close by. So yeah, like definitely, like I enjoy the other ones also, but like my favorite are the ones that are like big enough that like it's like you don't get bored and you don't see the same like 5 people over and over again. But small enough that you can be like in a single convention and like you can kind of see like some people like returning every year.
Yeah. I
I,
think Acon has gotten to the point where it's kind of getting too big. Like I used to absolutely love that convention, and now it's slowly deteriorating a little bit as they
Oh
continue to move
no.
locations, in my opinion.
they've
It's
But
just like the
they've
fall of
changed
Rome.
owner like 3 times, and
yep,
then they've
that
changed
Oh,
too.
location like 3 times, and I don't know where the future of Akon's gonna be after
Yeah,
COVID, but one can only
but
hope.
oof.
I don't really have any other like I can't really say a favorite because I've only been to Acon, San Japan, and A Fest, and like a couple other like gaming conventions. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Acon. Like OG Acon is probably my favorite. But San Japan was also really fun. I loved the size of it because it was like easy to get around and there wasn't too much space, but at the same time like I didn't get bored. Like I still found things to do pretty much all day. So, I don't know. What about you, Tim?
I think for going with a group, I think San Japan is great because I had a blast going with Aggie-SAMA down there. We brought everyone down, like spent the
Mhm.
night. We like had little groups, and I think it's a good size convention where there's a lot there, and everyone had a good time. And it was great hanging out with
Yeah.
everyone. And it's like I don't normally I do like 4 or 5 groups like people for conventions sometimes, but never like as big as Aggie-SAMA. And it was nice having like such a huge group of people come together and hang out.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Mhm.
definitely fun when you have a bunch of people to hang out with.
But
And being in downtown San Antonio is really fun in general. Just like having all those restaurants and stuff right at your leisure. Cool. But I guess Akon is kind of the same too. Well, I don't know. I'm just blabbing. I
yeah.
don't know what I'm saying anymore.
I don't know.
So AX is big, but I think I like it because it's big because like a lot of people, like a lot of the artist people that I like are friends with and hang out with are there because it's so big, and then you have a lot of exhibitors and merch, and you have a lot of like guests that you don't usually see elsewhere from like from
Mhm.
Japan stuff. So I just like
Hmm.
it for like the sheer massiveness, even though that's it's a big turnout for people, but it just gives me a lot of options and diversity that you wouldn't find at like other conventions.
That's true. You're kind of sacrificing like convenience for content.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've been to a couple like good small cons. Like I say good. I like part of it like coming from like a guest slash panelist perspective. Like there's this con called Anime West Texas that like just happened like in the past like 3 years, and my group got invited to be like an idol like dance etc. guest out there. And there was literally like 30 people the whole weekend. We were in this like tiny hotel, and it's in like Lubbock, right? So it was like in the middle of nowhere, and we were like, what are we doing out here? And we literally like stayed at this really crappy like motel that like smelled like
no.
cigarette smoke, and like I didn't like, if there was a black light in there I would probably run away screaming. But like
No.
so it was like awful the first year, but then like being able to like watch it kind of grow was like super rewarding, because like we came back for like the next year, and like people remembered us and they're like, oh my god, like we came back here, like oh like we like are so happy that you're doing this like in West Texas, because like it hasn't been a thing before. And so like I just got like way closer to the people that went, because like we were with them all weekend, and like we just got to know them better. And like there was like definitely no like big name people. Like there was a couple like maybe like B-list kind of voice actors that stayed for like a couple of hours, like 1 or 2 days. But like the biggest like takeaway that we loved was just like the fan base there is just like one of our strongest, just because of like how close we got to them.
Nice.
Wow.
Is that the Lubbock one where they had you basically run the convention?
Oh yeah, no, we literally probably put like clocked in like 40 hours of unpaid like labor or something. Like they comped us for gas and that was it.
Oh
Not
my
even the
god.
room?
No. They
Damn.
weren't going to comp us for the room, which is why we weren't in the hotel, I think. Or if they did, like they comped us at this like $60 a night like motel. We were like, oh. And so like yeah, we weren't even in the hotel. Like we had to drive to the hotel, and like it was like a 10-minute drive. Like we couldn't like walk. Oh my god, that wasn't. We were all like never again. And then we went back to the con next year and we were like never again. So like we always say like we're not going to do it again, and then they come back and they're like, hey, and we're like, hey, they're like that like really awful abusive ex that you're just like,
Oh,
hey.
No.
Just kidding. It's definitely gotten better. Like we were better about boundaries, and they were like, oh no, yeah, like we have this covered now. Like it's not our first con anymore, and we're like, okay, cool.
That's
So
good.
yeah,
They're
it
not
was
putting it all on you anymore.
no, and part of it was on
Oh
us because they were
god.
like, do you want to do this? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, do you want to do this? And we're like, yeah. And then we look back and we're like, oh my god, we did not sleep that entire convention. Wow.
Jesus.
Do, 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 do. Yay, T team, doing everything. Yeah, I haven't gone to that many like big conventions really. Like I've done more like mid-size slash like small ones, but I could totally see the content there being like great. I wanted to go to Matsuri. I think there was like some conflict we had.
yeah. I feel like conventions it's been just doing their own drama lately. I don't know. And I don't know. I go to conventions just to enjoy the week, but there's so much politics I feel like coming up with it lately. Because like
Oh,
there's the whole
Mhm.
scandal with the Matsui owner, the Sin Japan
oh
guy.
yeah,
The
Wait,
Sin Japan guy
what
just
what is it?
retired, and then Akon has like shifted 3 owners.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I
What's
don't
the
know.
drama with Matsuri?
There's some like sexual harassment things with the owner.
Oh no.
Yeah, there were some like accusations of like owner being creepy, and then I think some like
Ugh.
embezzlement issues.
Mm.
um yeah, no, that's like what makes me sad is whenever like cons are like this space where like a lot of people find like joy and like I love like guesting at, and then I realize, or like we later hear about like, oh, the like
Yeah,
owner was like a piece of shit or whatever, and then we're like, oh
Yeah.
man, now that just
That's
soils
really
the
unfortunate.
memories.
yeah. Like I want to go to
Mhm.
conventions to, hang out with all my Wii friends and have a good time, and then all this
Yeah,
other stuff comes in and gets in the way.
I don't want to support an abuser of some kind, or like somebody who's
Mm-mm.
like literally taking my money and like squandering it. Like I want to support cons that are like gonna like kind of like come back for the community and be
Yeah.
there. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's yeah, yep,
So
yep.
when do you guys think conventions are gonna start back up again?
Hmm.
When does our vaccine come in? Like the day after that?
Well,
I think it's like spring or summer of next year is when people are saying like everyone will have it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure though.
so
Oh, it's true. We need herd immunity still.
you don't think conventions gonna start up before the vaccine comes out?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Oh, I mean, aside from like online.
No, I know. I mean like in person.
Okay, yeah. Because the stuff that we were gonna guest at were originally like talking about doing hybrid, and then I think they ended up moving everything online.
Wow.
But no, I think like you're like, yeah, it's like not a good idea
I
until
mean,
like after we have
yeah.
vaccine and vaccine
How
coverage.
how do online conventions work? I have no idea what that even means.
From what I've seen, you get like a link to get into like either a Discord or like something where they're like hosting it, and like they'll have panelists do like streams. Either they'll stream like
Oh,
pre-recorded videos or they'll do like live streams.
okay.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like a just like what you would imagine, like kind of like your own private little like YouTube thing. And so
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay. That
we
sounds
were
pretty
asked
fun.
if we wanted to do it too, but I think we ended up not doing it. But like, no, yeah, I think it's a great like alternative. Definitely not worth the price of like a normal con ticket,
No.
but I think it's really good
Mm-mm.
if you're still trying to get people involved.
It doesn't feel the same to me.
Oh, it's
Mm.
not.
Like,
Cons are like a full body experience. Like it's not just something you can hide behind a screen.
Yeah, driving is like driving there is part of the experience. Being
Oh
there
my
is
god,
like
the con
it's a
playlist.
journey. It's a
uh,
fucking journey. Sorry, I don't know
especially
if
for
I'm allowed to say
Texas, since it's like 6 hours to get to anywhere.
that. Mm.
It's rough. But yeah, I remember AX did was one of the first conventions to do like an online format, and it just felt so empty to me. Like it just felt like an advertisement platform for all the sponsors to just show all the stuff they wanted to like show at
Yeah.
the convention, and that was it. There was like no
Oof.
fan panels. All the industry panels were like
Aw,
nothing entertaining. It was just very disappointing.
bummer.
And then all the artist alley stuff is literally just people like posting their links and being like, "Hey, check out all these this giant list of artists and have fun clicking
Here's my
on
Etsy.
the 50,000 pages and going to people's Etsy's." And
Mhm.
it doesn't hit the same, and it sucks. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like conventions you want to start up before the vaccine comes out, though. Whether that's a good idea or not is a different story. But
Yep.
I think the
Oh, I hope they
vaccines
don't.
is going to come out like spring and then summer, but then it's going to take time for production and distribution. So I
Yep.
feel like it won't be until like 2022 until we're like fully over this.
Oh, I agree. I think we're still gonna have stuff
So,
that stays. But like
and
honestly, like if you want biology into it, like it's not even just like the vaccine comes out. It's if we have people that don't take the vaccine,
yeah, that's
then
why I said
it's not gonna
distribution
work
too. Like production distribution is
anyways.
going to be 2022. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
spring and summer is probably going to be when they like finalize the vaccine, but then making and distributing is going to be like another half a year, and that's going to be a
Damn.
whole thing. That's why I don't think convention is going to wait that long. I don't think they can go 2 years. Especially like a lot of like the reason why like conventions didn't immediately cancel as soon as the COVID came out is because like they couldn't cancel without being forced to because they insurance wouldn't pay for it and they don't get the insurance to cover it, then they will literally just bankrupt.
Oh,
So especially
no.
like small
Yeah,
conventions,
that's true.
and I don't think conventions can financially go 2 years without
Mhm.
that
And like you
happening.
said, they sign those contracts that like keep them with certain hotels, and
hmm
like they what do they do with those contracts? Yeah, you lose all that money. It's
Sometimes they're
so sad.
nice, like I don't know, our hotel, like we had a whole spring trip to plan out during COVID and we had to cancel. And they had like a no
Oh.
cancellation policy, but like we called them up and they were like, "Oh yeah, I understand it's COVID. We'll
Oh,
cancel
I
and
pulled like
refund
an
you
almost
everything."
Karen.
But yeah, that's so I think some are understanding, but other times they may be like, "Oh, like well, too bad for you." And then some conventions so I feel
Mm.
like conventions are definitely gonna try again. Like especially they've already like pushed their conventions to next year, like a lot of the conventions last year. Like, oh, we'll just move it to like, 1 year from today. So we'll see if those conventions goes on. But
Right.
I don't know if it's like a good idea or not, but I feel like it's gonna happen regardless.
And Aggie-SAMA is not gonna go. Yeehaw!
Woo.
Keeping our little baby member safe.
Yep.
Not that I'm going to be in charge for it, but I will send a very angry email to whoever's president if I see Aggie-SAMA like toting themselves around a convention before we have a vaccine.
Well, 2022.
Woo.
Aggie-sama.
Hey, whoop.
We'll do it.
We're just
Yeah.
going to put everything on pause until then. No podcasts, no general
Yeah.
meetings, no nothing.
Yep.
Aggie-sama's
Not until
hibernating
we
until
see
the
each
world
other
is
in
open.
person at a con.
Nothing else works. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Any other questions from the chat? I don't know.
Um,
I don't know what else we even had on our itinerary.
Junkie said hi, but I think that was it.
Dope.
Cool.
I wonder, is there anything else we can talk about at cons? Do y'all have any like crazy con memories or like stories and stuff that you just look back and you're like, what happened?
Uh,
Hmm. I'm
I've
gonna have to think for a second.
ever since I shifted to like helping out, it's been a very boring con life. Actually, it was this one time when I was in Detroit and I was like packing up and leaving, and it was very late. I didn't know where to go, and I wanted something cheap, so I found this like super cheap like hot dog restaurant that served like chili hot dogs for good. And then I came in, and then like three homeless guys tried to go in like constantly. The owner kept on having like shove them out, and they kept coming back,
Oh
and it
no.
was like a whole scene. I guess it's a very common scene because everyone around him like didn't do anything, but it was just very
Hmm.
weird and awkward having this guy just come in and trying to get food or something, and the owner just chased him out. But
That is
Dang.
it's Detroit.
awkward to witness. Yeah. Um, the only funny story I have is um when I was attending a convention one time with my friend and my other friend. We were all in high school at the time, and there was this girl wearing a Satsuki cosplay from Kill la Kill,
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
and it was it was well made. It was a beautiful cosplay, but there's one small issue in the crotchular region,
Ah.
and yeah, you could pretty much see everything, like through the white
Oh.
little
Ooh.
patch that she had there. You could see, and my friend, who's no longer my friend now, but like he we were some feet away, and he goes, I can literally see her. I'm just gonna say kitty here, but you know what word I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
Hmm.
Wow.
Hmm.
And it was she heard it. She heard it.
Oh
She turned,
no.
and her face like turned red, and we felt, well, he felt so bad, but like, yeah, it was terribly awkward for everybody. Please, if you're gonna
Oh
wear a
no.
cosplay that is so scandalous that it's like covering things to the bare minimum, be precise. Get that
Get that
get that
right
Extra,
tape
location.
get that extra
get the
fabric
tape
down.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, get an extra layer. You don't want anything slipping and sliding. Just make sure you've got everything covered, because that is a nightmare waiting to happen. But yeah, incredibly awkward. I don't know why he said that out loud, and I was absolutely pissed at him. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I would have been
Hmm.
too.
that's it.
Actually,
Dang. I mean, I know there's a lot of cons that are like cracking down on dress code specifically, like
Mhm.
not even just for that. I think also just because like unless you rent out the entire convention, like you're gonna have also like normal people walking around, and it like isn't great
oh,
if you're like
yeah.
having a con and then like that happens, or just like in general, I guess.
That
Um,
happened
Mhm.
at Matsuri a few times because there'll be like conferences at the Hilton Hotel where like business people are having meetings there, and then you see a bunch of like people in cosplay just walk past them, and I just have to wonder what they're thinking when a
oh
bunch
my
of
god,
like
Yeah.
yes.
middle-aged
I've had
men
people
see
come up to
that.
my friends and be like, what's going on? And we're like, "Oh, it's like a video game convention."
Yeah, that's
Like
what
cuz like they're
that's
like total normies.
yeah, I say the same thing. That's usually in the street though, but I think it's a different thing when like it's like a businessman who's like going to a whole meeting and seeing it.
And then there's
It's
like a Satsuki with having
yeah.
some like
Yup.
wardrobe malfunctions. Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
I've been actually flashed at a convention once before where
Oops.
because they were having
Wow.
it was another like it wasn't on purpose, but it was like another like accidental
Oh.
wardrobe thing where like she was like I think she was like mountain lady or something, and her outfit was like kind of too big, and she was like adjusting it, and I guess she wasn't it was like a dressing. She didn't have a bra on, so she was adjusting it. She like her thing just like her breast just like flipped out for a second as
Whoop.
she was adjusting, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
Just flopped out.
And then she just like adjusted it, just came back, and I was like, okay, guess that's a thing. And then I just walked on.
uh, yeah, if you see something like that, I would
I,
definitely not say something out loud. That's number one. Number two, maybe just walk up to them, or I don't know. Just tell them politely that there's
yeah,
something
just
yeah.
wrong.
just
Or get
quietly,
Don't
like a
yeah.
say any
representative to
like
say
don't draw
something.
attention. That's the thing.
No.
Like that would be my worst nightmare if someone like called it out like that.
No, I mean
But
it's like the girl code thing of like, oh, like you have like a stain on the back of your pants. Like you
yep.
don't like scream from across the school like, hey, your butt's red or whatever. Like you're always just like
Yep.
walk by them very like 007 style, like code red or whatever. Like yeah.
Exactly.
There's definitely like a code. At least like in cosplayers, like sometimes like I'll be like, oh, like hey, by the way, like your thing is like that your tag is out, or like, oh, like here's a safety pin
Right.
or whatever. Like just like
That's
Yeah.
trying to be very I guess like nice about that. I don't know. And like I'm
mhm.
all for like sexy cosplays. Like if like this is the
Oh
place,
hell
like if
yeah.
this is your comfort zone, like go for it. But like I've never worn anything like that crazy. But like when we did the bunny suits, like it was definitely not the most like mobile cosplay, and I was like very
Mhm.
conscious of that. And I was like, okay, like this is like what's happening right now. Like I'm not like bending over this far. Like I'm not doing this thing. Blah
Hmm.
blah blah. But like luckily, like I've never had any issues of anybody like harassing my friends or I.
Yep.
Like there's been like some creepy like flirt encounters.
Yeah.
Oh
I,
no.
So
I don't know if I would call it flirting, but
speaking of, have you guys ever felt uncomfortable cosplaying before at a convention? Because I know that's kind of like a
Hmm.
thing that happens at conventions.
I'm
Where
gonna
you,
change the question to have I felt uncomfortable being a girl and a weeb? Yes.
what? Okay.
But what about in cosplay specifically? Like,
um. Oh my god, I have a story of like one of my friends where she literally it was at San Japan and she was dressed as Gasai, and this guy came up and was like, "Oh my god, like can I have a hug?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so he hugged her for like a minute.
whoa.
Oh,
Like
Oh
a
god.
whole minute of just like this
Eek.
bear hug, and she was like, "Is uh,
I feel.
are
She's like,
Hmm.
I can smell you.
yeah?" Like I think she was
Get
like, "Is it
out.
gonna end?" Like I think she had to like pull away.
Oh
Like
no.
oh yeah. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh honey, and like I at least I don't know, maybe I have this like intimidating aura, or like I'm not like cute enough in cosplay. I don't know, whatever. But like the most that's happened is people will like kind of be like really awkward and then eventually like ask for a photo. Like
They'll
I
like
think
lurk around you and then like wait for the
yeah.
right opportunity.
And I'll be like,
Hmm.
I see
Super
you. Do
awkward.
you just trying to say, are you looking behind me? Or like, what's happening?
Yeah. Weaves need to learn proper social distance and etiquette. But how about we change it
Etiquette?
to how do you want people to approach you when they're asking for like cosplay pics or something like that?
Oh my god, a good segue.
Yeah.
Definitely just like
Yeah.
ask first. Ask first. Number one, like assess the
Mhm.
situation. Like, am I like just standing around talking to friends, or am I like about to go to the bathroom and like eating and have food in my mouth? Like, if I am like not like upright or just like chilling in a chair talking with somebody, like if I'm doing any other, like if I look like I'm like in a hurry to go somewhere, or if
Mhm.
I am like paying for something at a booth, like don't come up to me and be like, can I have a photo right now? So I'll be like,
Exactly.
no. Or like, oh, the worst is like we were doing a photo shoot and people were like, oh my god, y'all have great costumes, can we take a photo? And we are like, yeah, it's just one photo. And it
What?
turned into like our photo shoot time was half taken up by these people wanting photos. Yeah.
No.
Like, oh, are y'all gonna pay for this extra time? Or
Yeah, you definitely have to like set your boundaries with people. If you don't want to take a picture at that time, just tell them. Just tell them no.
yeah.
And
Now
like whenever it's convenient for you, um, don't be shy. Like people are happy to take pictures with you because they're proud of their cosplays. So, you know,
yeah.
they really want to be celebrated and recognized for what they've done. So
Stroke my
definitely
ego.
don't feel scared because they'll be more excited than you probably are.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I promise there's like an excited weeb underneath the cosplay. Like it
Yep.
doesn't matter how like edgy or like how
Hmm.
cool they look, like on the outside, on the inside, they're like just as excited about the character as you. So
Yeah.
like definitely as long as you're polite and you're like, hey, like I love your cosplay, like can I get a photo? Or like, hey, when you have a second, can I like talk to you about this thing? Um Yeah.
Yeah. B, do you have like a business card or anything? Anything fancy?
Uh,
Yeah. I have
Really?
cos cards.
I want to
Yeah.
see.
I don't know. Do I have any? Gosh. I don't. I might have like an old photo, but it's like cos cards. I know. Like I know people that are like panelists that just have them, but like in general, you
Mhm.
can have a cos card that has like some of your favorite cosplays on it and like your like social media handles. So you can just give it to people at a con, and it's like a really great way to network. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, like I think I have like a design somewhere, like one of our old ones. Yeah, ooh, yeah, more graphic design. I love making cos cards. They're so fun. I think I have a bunch in my wallet still of like people like they
Man,
just stayed
I
with
always
me.
wanted to make one, but yeah, I never really had a big enough repertoire to
Do
like
it.
have enough pictures, but maybe someday when I get back into it.
Heck yeah, dude. I
yeah.
mean, I think you have enough pictures.
I got a couple of good ones, but all of them are
Yeah.
ancient, so it's like doesn't even really look like me now.
I
I
I mean, I
mean,
know
guess it kind of does.
it looks close enough, especially on cosplay, so they're not gonna, notice too much of a difference, I feel like. But yeah, I know Aggie-sama was working on a group cosplay that was supposed to be a thing at Disney in Japan, but obviously it didn't happen.
oh
So
yeah. Yeah, that didn't happen.
maybe next year.
Big sad. I know like literally. Oh, I was gonna ask Anna, are you more of like a group cosplay person, or are you like just like a going my own way cosplay person?
Okay, so I have been an individual cosplayer pretty much. Well, not most of the time. A few times I've cosplayed with other people, but I would absolutely love to be in a cosplay group. I would feel so much better if I had people to, yeah, motivate me and keep me on track, and like also just picturing myself with a group and being able to be in character with that whole group makes it so much easier and so much more fun because you can really get more into it, and people aren't as afraid to come up to a group as they are to come up to like one person, you know?
Uh, I
So,
feel like it's
I
the
don't know.
opposite.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it
I
if
think
I
for the
could do.
cosplayer, being a group is great because it's nerve-wracking, putting yourself out
Mhm.
there. So having people around to support you is good. But asking
Yeah.
people for images, if there's like a group of 5 people and they're like talking to each other and interacting, it's intimidating to go up and be like, hey, can I take a picture? Rather than if they're by
Mhm.
themselves, I feel like it's easier to be like, hey, you're just like chilling here. You mind if I take a
That's
picture?
true.
Yeah, I always like I just don't like being by myself. Like I'm literally like as excited and like very like I guess outgoing as I can be at cons. Like I don't like to cosplay by myself because I like feel dumb. And so I'm always like, oh my god, guys, like what's our next group cosplay? We should do this. Cosplay with me. Cosplay with me. How come you guys aren't cosplaying with me? Um, yeah.
I've definitely been that pest before where I'm trying to get everyone in the group to cosplay, but no one will do it with me, and I'm like, shit. All
Oh my
right.
god. Okay, this is like relatively backtracking, but I just like texted in my con squad group chat about like weird con people slash con stories, and there's one guy who wanted us to step on him for a photo,
Oh no.
Oh no.
and we did. Like that's his
Oh
whole Instagram.
no.
His whole Instagram is like him getting like stepped on. I know it
Did
sounds
he
like
show
awful, but
you
his
his Instagram?
it's called like Fail Ninja, like it's something from like a game reference, and he had like a bunny on his head, like I think it's like Final Fantasy or Fire, but whatever, something like that. And so his whole cosplay like Instagram is just like him like pretending to be dead on the ground, and then people are like stepping on him or like beating him up or whatever. And so he like closed his
Okay.
eyes, like we were wearing skirts, so he was like very respectful about it. But it was so weird because he just walks up and was like, "Can you guys step on me?" We were like, "What?"
What a thing to start with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That
I
was a that was
I
a time.
yeah. I guess if he's like, nice and understand like,
Yeah,
you know,
she was polite
reasonable
about
about
it.
it,
No
then
worries.
I guess it's okay. But
It was just weird at first.
I
At
don't
first, we were
know
all like, "Should we run away?"
if I could ever do that to just random strangers. But yeah.
And I put our cost card, like one of them, in the officer room chat.
Oh, okay. I will check that out.
I feel like you should try to get some people around to do a group cosplay if you're into it. Because I know a lot of people were very excited when we were
Yes.
going to do the Demon Slayer group cosplay.
I was excited.
B was excited, Abhishek was excited, Kim was excited, I think. A lot of people were really excited. And I'm
Yeah.
sure if you have some ideas, you can bring it up. I'm sure people will love to do it with you.
That's the thing. I just don't know who, like what group. I'm
Well,
just so lost on like
what
where to start
is there
there.
anything you like right now?
Um, I mean, I just finished Vinland Saga,
Ah, it's
and
so good.
um,
Not a lot of characters to cosplay in Villain
uh,
Saga though.
I just finished another one, but I can't remember the name of it. It's on Netflix.
Beast
Oh,
Wars.
Anna,
Oh
how do
shit.
you decide like what to cosplay? How about that? Like what do you normally like? Like is it you
Um,
have to like love a character or do you just like have the wig lying around or you're like I want to be blonde or like how does that go?
um, it's usually like a character that I obsess over,
Nice.
or just really like the aesthetic of. It's not usually anything to do with personality. To be honest, it's like
Gotcha, gotcha.
like the skill level of the costume, and then if I like the character, then I'm like, all right, sure.
Is it
Oh
mostly
yeah, that's true.
personality or is it just like looks? Like that outfit's super
I
cute. I gotta cosplay it.
I'm gonna say it's probably mostly aesthetics
Okay.
that draw me into a character initially, and then I usually end up like falling in love with their character, like later throughout the series, or because I'll like see
Yeah.
an anime and I'll be like scrolling through and I'm like, oh shit, that would be a really cool cosplay, and then I'll start watching the anime.
Dude, that's such a mood. Like I will literally just go through all of these like images and be like, "Oh, that's a cool character that like I would
Yep.
cosplay. Let's watch this anime." Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, cosplay cosplay things. Cosplay mood.
And now
My
I
my
just watch a
first
bunch of random like shonen, so there's not a lot of females that I'm like, oh, I really want to cosplay this character. You know?
Oh, that's true.
It's like
It's a struggle. Or you like gender bend it, but like sometimes I'm like, man, do I
that's
want to
true.
gender bend it? Do I just want to like can I
I
pull off
think
like
that'd
the
be
gender
fun.
bend?
Gender bending is
Yeah, it gives you a lot of
really
creativity, I feel like, to do what you want.
fun. Hmm.
Oh, it's super fun. My first Oron panel was actually supposed to be gender bent, and then my friend got cold feet and just bought like a blonde wig like 30 minutes before the panel, and then we just did regular Oron.
The one you did
Wait,
with us was gender bent, right?
No,
what
everything is. I
character
mean,
were you?
so I was Haruhi. So like I didn't
Cute.
I didn't change. Like originally we had like I had like the Oron like yellow dress. Like I bought it on Amazon.
Hmm.
And my friend like had like a little skirt and like an Oron jacket, and then she was like, "No, like I want to do this right." And I was like, "I mean, however we want to do this right, but whatever." And so we turned it into like an actual sleepover. Like we showed up in pajamas. Like we all had kigus
Aw.
on. Um,
Kikus.
oh yeah, now it was a
That's so
staple. So
fun.
it was like a happy last minute change. But like yeah,
Hmm.
like we were gonna do gender bend, but like Haruhi is like already kind of a gender bender like
Right.
issue character. So like I didn't change anything. So I was like, okay, dude, like do whatever you want to do. But like my first cosplay was literally a character that I had never like seen before, aside from like one episode. It was from Love Live because I had friends that like already had
Oh.
cosplays and they were like, "Oh my god, you should do it with us." And I was like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, I don't want to like be a character by myself." And so I was Kotori Minami from Love Live. And I have like four of her outfits because my friends were always like, "Oh my god, let's do this one, let's do this one." And like I didn't pick my first like the first cosplay I picked was probably like my sixth one in.
Damn.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I was a
What?
people pleaser for a while. It was bad.
Damn. So what do you choose yours based off of? Like looks, personality?
Um, I think like usually I try to have like a goal in mind for like cosplaying. Like is it like oh like I just want to like wear it around or like is this for
Hmm.
like a contest or is this for like a dance cover or is it for like a panel? And then like that'll kind of determine like if I have a character I really love, then I'll probably try to incorporate it into a panel and then I'll make sure that like I have the costume kind of match that. Like I think like before like con stuff hit, we were gonna do like an avatar like panel, like in character one, and I was gonna be Ty Lee for that one just because like I just love her personality and she's like bubbly and super
Hmm.
fun.
Hmm.
And so we were gonna do like some kind of high school AU or like an avatar sleepover or something. Sleepovers are just fun. Like
I'm
Yeah,
seeing a
that's
trend
a good
here.
way to like
can't go wrong with a
put a little
sleepover
spin on any anime. Yeah, that's
because then I
awesome.
can wear like comfy clothes and I don't have to pay for a
Yes.
whole like I'm just cosplaying on a budget here.
You just reuse the onesies and stuff.
Yeah, like it's the same
Yeah.
Kigu. People are like, wait, I feel like I've seen this is interesting. That's a flashback. But yeah, if I'm doing a panel, definitely personality slash
Hmm.
like how easy is it to like make the costume. if it's for like a contest, like the freaking like hardest character out there with like the most intricate wig, with like the crazy costume, because like I want to like win this like so much. And if it's just for like walking around the convention, it's probably like a character that I like want to do with a group. Like I think the last like group cosplay we did was like Pokemon like Gajinkas. Like we did like Snivy, Oshawott, and Tepig. And so we each had like a different dress, and we had little like Pokemon motifs. So like the majority of my like cosplays are like, oh, like what group am I going to be in? I think Chat Noir was the only one that I did like by myself. But yeah, like I'll just find what character kind of like fits with me, or that I like the aesthetic of the most, like within that group.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you need to find a ladybug for you.
My friend was my
complete it.
ladybug. My friend, whenever we went to
Did you do
really
any
like
photo shoots together?
no,
You should have.
we did not. I literally like the only reason I have pictures of Chat Noir is because my family was already gonna take a trip to Europe as like my high school graduation present. Like that was like planned like hella in advance. And then like 3 days before, I was like, I want to bring a cosplay and take pictures next to the Eiffel Tower. And so I literally like scrapped together this cosplay and brought it with me on an international flight, on 2 international flights. And then got dressed and like took a photo at like 5 a.m. next to the Eiffel Tower. And those photos turned out great. And I am addicted to cosplay. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Do people look at you weird when you were in cosplay there?
Oh, absolutely. I was on public transport. Like my grandfather like was with me, and he took a photo of these people like side-eyeing me so hard.
Oh god.
I had like neon green contacts, and I was in like this like spandex bodysuit. Like it was not like I could not play it off as normal. And like I also didn't speak French, so I was just like, "Hi, howdy, how's it going?" But oh, that was so fun. Cosplay. People.
Honestly, it's kind of thrilling in itself, like walking around regular public areas in cosplay.
When
I
you're with
love
a
it.
group, yes, but by yourself, when you're like in B situation, when she's in Paris and she doesn't know anything, and everyone's staring at her, and she's like the only one in cosplay, I would just like crop in the ball. Did you have a jacket on at least to like try to hide it?
No, I mean it was like literally I had gloves and then this like high necked like bodysuit with like a bell on it.
Just
So, like I was covered, but I like was just like this weird like cat ninja thing. And like I was like, you know what, this is where and part of my personality is just like, all right, this is how it is. I did oh my god, I had because like the show is originally like a French like show that was like animated in Korea or something, and I had a like 8-year-old Parisian boy come up to me and just go Chat Noir, and I was like meow, and he like cried. It was so great. I was like, kid, I'm crying too. Like I would have real tears if I did not spend 3 hours on this makeup. But oh my god, that like made my whole day. I was like, y'all, I made it. I can die happy. Just dump me in the river. It doesn't get better.
Aww.
Yeah. Oh, I miss cosplay. That's like
cosplay.
the feeling. The feeling of ascending like to heaven is when somebody like recognizes you or is like, dude, I love your cosplay, and I'm like, I love you. I'm gonna go die happy now. Thank you.
It's the most validating feeling. Just
because you spend
having
like
someone
hours slaving over it, and somebody's like, I see you, and I'm like, I feel seen in like the best way.
Anyways, we are at the 2 hour mark here, so we should start wrapping up.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. Final takeaways.
We miss cons.
Yeah, we miss
we
conventions.
miss cons. Mic drop end.
I mean, oh man.
I do.
Any plans in the future, B?
Or
Tim. Also Tim.
Also Tim, that's true. Tim, what would be your dream cosplay if you did not have to worry about like money or time? What would you cosplay?
I wanted to do a Zero cosplay at some point.
Ooh.
Because I saw someone making like his mask and stuff, and it looked really cool, and never had time. I would want to make it, and then the rest of the outfits just should be pretty simple to make the rest of it, because he's just a cape and then the outfit. He's pretty simple, but I would want to do that.
Do it. Anna, do you have a dream cosplay?
Okay. I really like Oh, I'm not sure about the whole furry thing. I have made like ears and a tail before, but I'd love to do a humanoid version of Haru from Beastars.
That would be so
Oh,
cute. Oh my
Just like
gosh.
with the bunny ears and a little tail, but like nothing more than that, and just like I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cute.
Heck
Just kind of
yeah.
something simple.
hmm
Okay, but that's not my dream cosplay. I just that was an answer I had to come up with on the spot. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
What about you, B?
I would do, man, I'm trying to think because my whole life recently has been like, what is cheap and quick? Oh, okay, let's do that. Um, maybe Beatrice from ReZero actually, because she has like this long dress and these like huge twin tail like wig
Mhm.
curls that would just take so much time. So I think she would be really fun to just like be and like pretend to be at a convention because she's so sassy and just like very much herself. But she also has this dope ass elaborate like princessy outfit. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Beatrice. Yeah.
I
could you
love those curls.
style wig to do the drills?
Could I like do I have the skills or have I?
Could you?
Yeah, no, I was going to for like a different cosplay, but then because cons got canceled, I never went around to doing it. But I have all the materials. Literally, I could probably make close to Beatrice, but
Oh.
I will probably not,
What?
unless there's a con to go to, or if I get
Eventually.
really bored, or
One
if it's
day.
over the break.
Hey, winter break's coming up, right?
That's true, and I'm graduating, so who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe I'll just make a bunch of costumes and take a bunch of pictures.
Yes.
sounds like a
All
great
over
way to spend
campus.
winter.
Anna, let's just do a little tiny group cosplay with the two of us. Tell me who to
Okay.
be.
I mean, I'm like totally down. Just tell me what we're
You
gonna do and I'm
wait,
ready.
have B
Let's
be
go.
Legos, and you can be Haru.
I
You can
could be
do a little ship
Legoshi.
kapu.
Oh.
Hell yeah. We'll take these spicy pics.
For a second, I thought you said Legos, and I was like
No,
really lost.
I
And I
I
was
Yeah,
like,
I,
you
I
oh,
blanked on
oh,
his name for a second. I was like, what was his name again? What was it? What? Oh, that's
you
right.
don't remember the Legos in Beastar? There was a
like
Legos Beastar
Legos.
crossover.
Like,
LOL. Okay, yeah, that's our takeaway is we miss cons. Anna and I are gonna do a cosplay. Check out the Aggie-SAMA Instagram soon with that photo shoot results.
Yup.
Tim is gonna finally do that build that he always wanted to and should do. And don't go to cons until there's a vaccine and good vaccine coverage.
Amen.
amen.
Thanks for coming to convention church.
Okay.
Happy I could give you my sermon today. Quite literally.
No, that was not it. B.
Hee hee.
That's I go so well with the bee, with the
Looks
avatar.
like she this is my cosplay Bible, y'all. I'm giving you my spiel. Don't go to con hell. Go to con heaven. Be a good weeb. Shower. Ask for permission.
Deodorant.
Deodorant. Yeah,
We
deodorant
we
is
gotta go
a
about deodorant.
standard. It is not an optional thing. Wear freaking deodorant, or I will smite you myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a fun way to end our conversation for the night. I want to say thank you to the people that were tuning in. I loved y'all's questions. This was super fun.
Yeah. If you guys are not in our Discord, the link is below in our info. You should come out and hang out with us when we're not on here chatting.
Yeah, if y'all need more, like, if you want me to talk at you more about paneling or cosplay or guesting or like anything that I've talked about, just at me in Discord and I will almost always be willing to talk.
Yay.
Woo. All right. Thanks for dropping by.